Welcome to Beyond the Box.
Our guests are insiders that are now out and on our side, dropping nuclear intel and breaking it down just for you.
And now it's time to introduce our hosts, Brenda Lankridge and Suzanne Haunt. Join us and subscribe for weekly shows. Beyond the Box begins now. Let's jump in.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is me again, and I have my voice tonight. Woohoo! So, first thing I want to say, Mr. Dennis Carroll, I received my pendant today. Thank you so much. I love it. It's great. And I'm not so sure if Susie's going to jump in tonight, guys. She went to a county fair thing today, and she's been gone all day. She's pretty tired. But I do have Tommy with us. And tonight I have Mr. Joshua Shapiro, who has written a book, and he is going to tell us about the crystal skulls. I'm interested because I've always heard about them, but I don't know a whole lot about them. But I thought it would be an interesting topic tonight. We also might be joined by Steve tonight. I don't know if he'll be in the chat or if he'll come in. But I did a show today with him at 11 o'clock on his channel. So we have to make sure that we get his channel and everybody subscribe to it. He does different things. So he's starting to expand his channel more, which is a good thing. So first I'm going to start off with our prayer, and then we will get everybody in here and we'll get going. So Father, I ask that you protect still these people in North Carolina. Help them get through everything that they have lost, and the family members that they have lost. Everybody in this country is affected by this because of the loss of life. So please heal everything and everybody. It's a tragedy. We all know why. And Father, I pray that you can help fix everything that is wrong. It is a broken society, and it hurts my heart, as well as I know it hurts yours, to have what's happening going on. We were not put here on this earth for this to be like this. And I know there's a lot of people that would give everything just to live in peace and harmony. So, Father, I also pray that you protect everybody that comes on this show, all of the people in our chat, and as well as myself. And thank you for the healing. And I got my voice back. Thank you so much. And I ask this in the name of the Son, Jesus. And y'all, are you ready? Let's bring in my Tommy. Hi, Dr. Gonza Bing Bong.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Bing Bong, Bing Bong.
Oh, goodness.
How you doing today? You been good?
Sorry, my TV just started talking.
Your TV started talking. I hate when that happens.
Hello. Yeah, the TV started talking like that. It was probably like, I don't know, buffering for like 9 hours.
Oh, and then it just
decided to.
come on. Wow.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, nothing to see here. Yeah,
nothing to see here. Move along.
Trying to get there. We're gonna try to get the volume to come. So I can hear you. Okay. Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah. How are you doing?
How you feeling?
I see your thumb. There you go. I did a show with Steve today. It was amazing. I helped one of his friends. One of his friends has had his grandmother visiting him, and she'll touch his shoulder and tell him everything's going to be okay. And, so it's pretty good.
That's good.
And he feels so much better. And I told him she will come and go as she needs to, or just to watch you, keep an eye on you. There is life after death, people. Don't think that we just die and that's it. We're gone. We are light beings and we are in a meat suit and we have a universe and it is spectacular and it's where we all come from. So let's get this right. We don't just die and that's it. We're done. That's not the way it works. And
Right.
so him and I, we had a good show
We're
today.
not just meat pockets.
We're not meat pockets.
No, we're not just meat popsicles.
That's right. So let me go ahead and bring in.
It's the spirit.
Yeah, let me go ahead and bring in Joshua, and so everybody can meet him. Hi there.
Hey.
So we can all hear everybody, okay, right?
Yep.
Good, good. So would you like to tell people a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the crystal skull thing?
Okay. Well, I'm a typical Aries, so there's a possibility before I finish today, I may ruffle some feathers because I'm honest and direct.
That's the way we like it.
And right, and since we started having the crazy stuff happen in 2020, which I won't say what that's about, I've asked whoever listens to me in spirit, I want to know the truth. Because as Aries, I have that fire, and so hopefully part of that will come up in our conversation, maybe even beyond the crystal skulls. For the crystal skulls themselves, I saw my first one back in 1983, so it's been over 40 years that I've been connected with them. I didn't think that I would be involved in this, but what happens is things just happen to you, as you're living your life and you go through this process. So it came up, and actually it came up as a photograph of an amethyst skull that I saw before I actually met it. And after I saw the picture, I felt like an inner earthquake going on inside of me. And then there was a real earthquake that happened. This was in like San Jose, California. And the message I got from the picture is, we are returning to help humanity to create world peace. So Joshua, what are you going to do about it? Well, here I am over 40 years later, I'm still doing something about it. Whether it's doing interviews, writing books, doing public talks, helping people to get their own crystal skull, doing sessions with crystal skulls to give people information. I go with that flow, that creativity that comes to me. So what I would say is that I try to balance my masculine and feminine energy. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm listening. Okay, what are we going to do today that's going to be exciting and challenging? And sometimes I don't hear anything, and sometimes I get a whole bunch of stuff. Sometimes I have a download that comes to me when I come up. And whatever it is, I just follow it and figure, the worst thing that could happen is nothing changes. And the best thing that could happen if I do it is everything could change. And that's exciting for me because I'm sure if you have other people out there listening who are Aries, they'll tell you the same I would tell you. If we don't have challenge and variety and new stuff, we are bored to death. And so, there's a lot of projects I'm doing, but it's not like things happen every day. So I've been a little bit bored, but Spirit keeps saying, now look, when all these changes start happening and your center is going to come up and you're going to have the resources to build it, the center is called the Center for the Advancement of Humanity, and it'll be here in Florida somewhere. You're going to be so freaking busy that you're going to regret that you didn't take this downtime that you have and you didn't appreciate it.
Right.
So Yeah, so that's what they told me. So as you can tell, I hear things. Now I also have on my right side, which looks like my left side because it's reversed, but on this side is the spirit of my wife who passed away last November, November 25th. So it's almost been a year. And I feel her and I hear her, and she says, "Yes, I'm here watching you, of course." And she may have a few comments. So your comment about that life exists after death, well, it's most absolutely true because what I've watched since she passed is a lot of strange things have happened to me, almost as if like there's somebody on my side giving me extra help. Like there was one time in April, I think it was before my birthday, my roommate said, "Did you know there's money on your windshield?" And I went, "No, what are you talking about?" So I went out there, there was $11 on the right side of my window. And nobody knew except for her son, who told me he didn't put the money there because he's like 3 blocks from where I live, her youngest son. Nobody knew where I lived. So was that Katrina that just like, manifested it? And when I looked up 11 is a master number, it has to do with angels. And I think that's where she is. She's in the angelic realm because um, my friend Spring, who is a medium, I talked to her 4 days after Katrina passed, and she was talking about, yeah, there were all these angels in the room with her, but she refused to go until you came so you could say goodbye, so the two of you could say goodbye. Because I couldn't leave the room when I was there. I kept going, and I had to come because what was going to happen is 3 hours after she passed, they were going to take her to, and this is my problem at 69. I forget words sometimes, even though I'm a speaker and a writer, where they burn your body. Okay.
Cremate.
They were going to take her, cremate. They were going to take her to be cremated. So her daughter, I said, please, would you drive me there? It was probably like 30 or 40-minute drive to go where she was from where we were living. So she took me there. And I just hope that she forgave me for all the things I didn't do or have time to do. But when she talks from the other side, she goes, it's totally ridiculous. None of these things are really that important or matter. This is who you are. I love who you are. I accept who you are. And
Right.
even though I would have been upset with some of the things I'm now hearing you thinking about that you never told me, it's not a big deal now where we are. So it's kind of interesting. So
Right.
Katrina was her name, and she helped me tremendously, with the work with the crystal skull. She would do the background stuff, I would do the foreground stuff. And I learned a lot from her, and she made me a better person. I have to say that. So,
Yeah.
I'm just a crystal skull explorer, author, speaker. I look at the paranormal, anything interesting that comes up, I'll look at it. And, that moment I had in 1983 seeing this amethyst skull, first the picture, and then a couple weeks later, I saw the skull. That's what got me started. And I haven't stopped. And it's because I remember the message. And the name of that skull is called a me. It's a very old skull, I believe. And Ami said to me, "We're returning to help humanity to create world peace." And I believe that that ultimately is their goal because, number one, a lot of the skulls that people have personally are helping them to open up to their spirituality, to their gifts, or are healing them, if they have challenges or problem in their life, or helping to heal them. And then we do a meditation on the 13th of every month at the 13th hour locally, 1 o'clock, world peace meditation, where we share energy. So it's just a really powerful tool that is available for people. Not everybody has everybody has different tools that they work with for their spiritual growth, but it is can be a very powerful tool. And I know for myself, I would have to say, like I've had people who I've interviewed would say, "You're the most calm, peaceful Aries I've ever seen." I think the skulls have made me, be in the neutral, be more calm, let everything just happen. So for the most part, I can do that, except for one area which I told you, before we started, like
Right.
who is coming next? Nobody can take
Right.
Katrina's place, but I can't see myself doing all these projects myself. There should be a balance between a masculine and a feminine energy. And Katrina did channel through a friend and said, November, something's going to happen. Okay, we're here in November, so I'm
What's
trying not to
happening?
push. All right, I'm trying not to push and rush anything and complain too much. And all my soul sisters told me, "Will you look? Will you give it up? Just relax. It's just going to happen in its own time thing." So, but
That's what I told
in
you.
case, right? But in case. Well, the lady could be listening to the show out there and could go, that Joshua guy, he's pretty interesting.
There you go.
I might
Julie.
like to work with him. And I might like to take the med beds, which is one of the new technologies coming, and regress ourselves so we can
Yeah.
start our new family. 'Cause I already have the
See?
spirit of a little girl around me saying, hey, Dad, I'm coming next year. I'm coming
I'm,
next year.
I've
So
decided
how
that
does
I've decided that I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go to the age of
Beautiful.
25. And then I am going to go to Tommy's house and run circles around him and say, look, Tommy, I got a leg back. I got a leg back.
yeah. Yeah,
You
because
know,
once we have those med beds, we don't need hospitals and doctors anymore.
I know.
And
And I
it's
know
going to
that,
be pretty amazing.
yeah, and I know they're going to try to fight
Yeah,
that tooth and nail too.
of
It's going
course
to
they will.
be, it's going to be a
Right.
while. I
Yeah.
think that it's going to take us, well, definitely longer than 4 years to fix what has gone wrong in decades.
Yeah, yeah, it will take a while,
So,
but that doesn't.
Yeah.
But okay, how can I explain this? One of my guides is called Argus. Argus showed up, I think, in 2020. So I just, because sometimes I can feel when their presence is like Katrina, I can feel her presence. And I could feel the presence. Be quiet over there of this little girl who's going like, "Come on, Dad, do your thing, do your thing." That's why I'm picking you for my dad because you're going to have so many exciting adventures. I want to go with you. Okay, so it might sound crazy to some people, but this is my life. I hear these things, so
I
I
do.
just accept them,
I'm a
right.
medium.
But
I
right,
hear,
well,
see, feel all of them.
right,
I have a
right,
doll that has an attachment that comes and goes in my house and does whatever she wants to do, you know?
right.
I,
So anyway, Arjas
mhm.
is me in my future in this lifetime.
Oh,
That's what he told me. And I said, well, how's that possible? I said, well, first of all, in spirit, just like Katrina is saying to me right now, there is no time and there is no space. So it is possible that you could have a communication with a future aspect of yourself. So, so I said,
yes.
okay, so if you're me, then what happens between 2020 and where you are in 2037 to 2040? I says, sorry, I can't tell you that. But I can show you what it's like in the future, but I can't tell you what happens and how you get there. Because I went through all that stuff and you still need to go through it. So I can't tell you, I can't interfere. But I know for a fact through what I see through him that we will have paradise on this earth. Absolutely. There is nothing that can stop it. The only key that all of us are waiting for is when is that magic first domino going to
Yes.
fall that we know with absolute certainty this is coming. Okay, because we still have a lot of craziness going on around us. And although, if you talk to a lot of spiritual people, they will tell you that they're having crazy experiences this year, like miracles that are just happening out of nowhere. Like this place that I lived in, Katrina's son could not deal with crystal skulls because he comes from a Christian base and Jesus and all that. And that's not the place I come on. I'm totally spiritual. And he heard me talking to a friend, talking to his mom, and he couldn't deal with it. You got 2 months. I love you, but I need to have the energy in my house clean. So you got to find another place. So what did Spirit do? The last day he wanted me to move, I went to this place, which is a 2-story house. I met the owner. It was 3 blocks away from where he was. I love the owner. We have great conversations. He's spiritual. I have my privacy in my room. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry somebody's going to be listening and say, Josh was insane. Let's get him out of the house. No, I have my freedom here. Okay. And, so that was a miracle because I was like panicking. I couldn't find a place and nothing was working. And And the only reason I got this place is because just like Katrina passed from cancer, the person who owns the house, his mother passed from cancer the week before I moved in here. So it was just like, everything was blocking me until it freed up because it was just perfect for me to come here because then I don't have to relearn everything. I know everything that's in the area and take care of all the things I had to do. So
That's
I've
good.
had crazy things like this going on. And and I just know that some really good things are getting ready to happen very soon. So I think we're going to see some of the advanced technology that we've been hearing about. But I do agree with you that it's going to take people a period of time to get
Yes.
used to being in a world where there's no wars, being in a world where everybody likes each other and loves each other and hugs each other and dance and sing in the street. This is what I see through Arja's eyes. Okay. So, well, whenever this lady comes, I know she's going to like to dance. So we're going to start that trend. Okay. I'm going to convince her. We're going to create an event where we start dancing and singing, and we're just going to invite everybody around us to come join us, and it'll happen because
Yes.
everybody wants to be this way. They
Yeah.
want to celebrate. It's about celebration. And I'm meeting a lot of people that I call soul family, like I just recognize them. Like there's again, and I have stories. I just met this lady in Mexico on a spiritual dating site, and we both said soul family, and we talked on Zoom, and it was just like we knew each other. We just had a great conversation, and she said, "I just don't have enough people to talk about all this spiritual stuff to." So I said, "You can talk to me whenever you want. We're both fire signs, so let's just go at it, and whatever you want to talk about." So it's
I
just
I
like little. Go ahead.
I have a few of my ladies in the chat talking about that. Denise, don't think you and Julie are going to go time travel and light and love all by yourselves. You better, hello, it's me.
Yeah.
But my audience is used to, a lot of different topics, and they watch, um, spiritual shows and
Right.
all of the like SSP stuff, and look at that. Oh my God, where did you get that?
Okay.
What,
Well,
Tommy?
everything has a story to it. This is lapis lazuli, and the name is called Rabbi. It has a little skull cap on the top. So when Katrina and I were living, he's a little bit heavy, so I have to put him down. But when Katrina and I were living in Washington State, um, let's see, how did this happen? So um, I guess I came out with my book, Search for the Blue Skull in Peru. Journeys
Yes.
of a Crystal Skull Explorer Search for the Blue Skull in Peru. And what happened is when I was in Peru looking for a blue skull, now this is not the blue skull I was looking for, okay? I was in Peru high up in the Andes Mountains, and I remember I had a dream where I saw a blue skull, but it wasn't the one I was looking for. And I put that in the book, and somehow this person who bought the book that lives in the East Coast, and I don't remember who she is or whatever, she just gifted me this go. She just felt like I needed to have this go.
Wow.
So that's how it came. And then what's been happening is as I've been putting him out when I get opportunity to go do my public events, I'm finding quite a few people are drawn to him all of a sudden because he's relatively quiet. I don't really, the skulls take on a living consciousness. This is what happens if you really start to work with them. And then you'll have communication with them and they'll just see what gifts does that person have. Well, they know that I'm telepathic and I feel energy. So I'll hear in my thinking voice, they'll start communicating with me. But generally he's pretty quiet. Okay. But he just has a really good energy to him. And I don't know who was the carver of this skull, but it must be somebody that was very talented because it's got a lot of definition to it. So the key is the crystal skulls pick us, we don't pick them. So that's how it happened. So what happened is Katrina and I had
Good.
about 30 skulls together. So I've inherited them all, but I'm getting ready to, when my center comes, that I'm going to donate them, or probably most of them. Maybe I'll just keep a few because I have enough trouble just taking care of myself that I'm going to take care of 30 crystal skulls too. And plus, I don't have a lot of space in the room that I'm renting. So half of them are still sitting in a box, just waiting till I have the space to come out. So, but they're ones that I take. I take about half of them with me when I go do my event. Um, so anyway, that's the story on this one. Okay, but the carvers create
Cool.
them in all different shapes and forms. It's not just a human-like skull. Like, for example, I work with a carver in India, and he makes ET looking skulls, and they make dragon skulls too, besides a human type skull. So those are the three that I offer to people. And up until recently, it was like whenever I would put one up on Facebook, somebody would just feel the affinity for it, and then I would work with them on that and send it to them. So it was very, very interesting. Yep. So what
Cool.
other questions? Maybe Tommy has some questions he wants to ask on the crystal skulls. I understand you're very interested in
So
them.
just yeah, man. I saw a podcast with Dan Aykroyd
Hmm.
talking about his adventures, interactions with the crystal skulls, and I mean, I can remember seeing a picture of one in like maybe a UFO magazine or something,
Hmm.
or book when I was a kid,
Right.
and it was always kind of like always been just kind of intrigued by the human skull, or just skulls in general, but primarily the human skull. Since I was a kid, like, and like I'm an artist. I do. I mean, like, let's show you.
Okay.
I got
Just
Like-
throw us on the ground, Tommy. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. How about that?
Is that pictures you've created yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're paintings, and I have
Right.
this black skull that's made out of Oaxacan black clay from Mexico.
Okay.
But the one day it was sitting on this sconce here,
Hmm.
and it's connected with and held up by two bolts, and
Okay.
it just like it'd been there for maybe 2-3 years, and it just one side just disconnected and fell, and everything slipped off and hit the floor, and the
Mhm.
skull exploded.
Wow.
And I picked up all the pieces for the most part, and figured I'd be able to. It seemed like pretty clean breaks, so I was gonna try to reassemble it. And the other day I put it back together, just kind of taped it to hold it in place, so I could go back and systematically put it together. That way I
Mhm.
knew what goes where, instead of trying to hunt and try to figure it out as I'm working with wet glue.
Right.
And the other night during the during Halloween podcast we were doing, it just came apart completely again.
Hmm.
It was kind of an odd thing. I know it's not crystal, but
Well,
it was a.
this has happened with other skulls where either they get damaged and you don't know how the damage came, or they
Mhm.
just
Oh, I
explode.
saw it fall when.
Yeah. So it could just be the energy that's connected to that artifact it finished working with you.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the little girl. I've got a ghost in the house here. She's like
Hmm.
maybe 8 or 10 years old, like when she died, and
Right.
she likes to play. I think maybe she didn't like that.
Yeah, it could be
You know.
too. Because sometimes they can
Yeah.
see crystal skulls can hold very powerful positive energies, but then they've been around when man's inhumanity was happening, like with Mayans and Aztec, where they would do sacrifice, take a person's heart out, put skull in. I actually had that experience when I was in Mexico, where I was with certain crystal skulls and I got very ill. Normally I can heal myself and I do okay, but this was so intense I had to ask for some local healers there to help me with them. So they
What,
can be they can hold extremely intense energies.
what
Um,
part of Mexico were you in?
Mexico City,
Oh, cool.
Mexico City. Yeah, I haven't traveled.
That came from Oaxaca. East,
Yeah, but they're finding a lot of
just
skulls.
import stuff from
Right.
Mexico.
Right, but they're finding a lot of skulls made from different types of stones coming out of Mexico because I think the Mesoamerican people, this was a key part of their religious or spiritual beliefs. And there are some modern Mayans who really fully understand what the crystal skulls are about and how powerful they can be, like almost like ancient computers. They can hold energy, all kinds of things. It depends upon how old they are. Because right now we have modern carvers making thousands of them. Like the one I showed you is a modern carving, and most of the skulls I have are modern carving. But it depends upon who the person is that has them. Apparently, in my DNA, I've worked with crystal skulls in other lifetimes, and so that helps to bring these crystal skulls to become activated and have energy, and then I start talking to a living consciousness with them. So it's a very interesting process, but for me, it's a tool to help humanity to grow and expand. And the very, very old ones probably have sacred wisdom and knowledge contained in them, which eventually we will have some method or technique that will be able to bring all of that back. So, um,
Yeah, I think it was the story that I heard about where there's a certain amount of them, and
yeah,
if they're all put together,
right.
um, I I don't remember the whole way that it goes, but um,
They're talking about 13 original skulls. This is the legend.
yes,
Okay, but I've heard that there could be more than 13. Like there could be 24 or 26
And
or 52. The Mayans talk like the number 52.
who
So there could be four sets of 13 held by four different indigenous people. So this
who
is,
um
go ahead, Tommy.
who who is responsible for creating the original like um uh, skulls from antiquity? Uh,
We don't
did
know.
they have
It
priests?
could it could be from Atlantis where they had superior technology. It could be gifts from the gods, which would be the galactic brothers and
Mhm.
sisters brought them here. It could be through the power of the mind that somebody imagined it and it just manifests, which is like an apportation. So, you know, there's different possibilities. I think what's the most important, although we are curious and we would love to know where would such advanced skulls come from, how they were made, just by the fact that they exist and that they could help humanity to see paradise in the future, I think is what is the most important aspect of them. Their energy, that they can be a healing tool to activate people. That's what I'm seeing with the people that I have contact with, whether I meet them in person or whether they contact me through the internet or email or whatever. Everybody who is a guardian that loves them has their stories to tell. And they're all amazing stories. Just like me, I have different
So
stories that I talk about. Go ahead, Tommy.
so what? So I mean, all things have consciousness, and I mean, and specifically crystal. I mean, it's like it holds information.
Hmm.
So, um, would they be considered like some form of like media that holds like content information, like a record holds music, like like a DVD holds the movie information or the film,
Right.
or
I think
imagery.
those made out of quartz crystal, I would say yes. I feel like there is vibrational frequencies that the quartz crystal is able to hold, and that it's in the shape of like our bone skull. What does our bone skull do? It's holding sacred wisdom and knowledge from the universe that comes through into our consciousness. It's that shape. So I would say probably to some degree. Now, the other type of stones I'm not as strong with, so I don't know. They probably have different frequencies of energy that they would hold. But I definitely know quartz, just like, the equipment we're using so we can do this show, there's quartz crystals, silicon dioxide chips and everything.
Oh yeah.
So I believe that quartz crystal in particular definitely is a record holder of vibrational frequencies, but it's, do we have an ability either spiritually through a gifted person or through some kind of advanced technology which we don't know about yet, that we could take a crystal skull, put it into this device, and all of a sudden you start to see somebody talking to you in images and going, thank God you finally figured out how to get the information out of me, you know? So I have a vision of that, that at some point there may
something like
be a device like that. You know, just like, I don't know what else. We put something in and all of a sudden we see movies and everything. I feel like the crystal skulls have that. We just don't have the right device yet to bring it out. But probably in Atlantis they did. Probably in Lemuria they did,
that.
or the Galactics they did. But this is all speculation. You know, what could it be? I mean, anything.
Sure.
Spirit told me one time and said, anything that you can
What,
imagine.
what,
Let me finish this one point, Tommy. Anything that you can imagine, you can only imagine it because it already exists somewhere. There's nothing you can imagine that doesn't already exist somewhere. So I believe that. Okay, go ahead, Tommy, with your next question.
I was going to say, you kind of touched upon it a little bit. The reason that that the human skull would have been chosen as the symbol or the form of this consciousness. I mean,
Right.
there's flowers. There's lots of amazing things in nature that could be. Is it our mortality that's trying to get our attention, and then communicate? What's the
I just think it's the shape of the skull is conducive to receiving cosmic wisdom and knowledge. It's the same for us too. So, plus I know that a lot of times um, when you start to share crystal skulls with people, um, it gets their attention because they already know this shape and this form because we have it inside of ourselves. So it makes them curious. They go, what's that? Why would somebody make that? What's that about? And I would say, well, why don't you hold it and see what happens to you? Why don't you see what experience you have? Not everybody has an experience with them. Or maybe somebody only has an experience with one type of crystal skull and not another type of skull. So you just never know. But the key for me and what I think helps people is personal experience working with them. In other words, just don't listen to my story and my understanding, or what I've learned about them. Have your own experience and see what comes up for you. But I warn people that if they work with ones that are already activated, then don't complain to me when your life starts changing on you and you start having all kinds of good stuff happen that you weren't ready for.
right?
Seriously, this happens sometimes with people where, it's like they're okay with their life even if it's difficult or whatever. And then all of a sudden they get a skull and
Does
things
it?
start changing.
Yeah. I would, I remember
So
one time I had gone to a place, I stopped at a place in New Mexico where, you know, there was Indian people there that made stuff, and
Mhm.
they had some skulls that were there.
Right.
And this one they had there was beautiful,
Mhm.
and I wanted it. I don't know why I wanted it, but at the time,
Mhm.
my ex-husband was looking through his stuff and he goes, Brenda, we can't afford that.
Right.
And I was like, man, because I really wanted that. What on earth? Okay, here we are.
Yeah. No,
I don't know
this
what
is
But
happened.
this does happen, Brenda. Yeah, it's really amazing. There'll be a skull I have for sale, let's say, and I think it's ugly, but it'll find somebody who will just have a total affinity for it and just feel like I need to have that. I want to work with it. I want to do something with it, or I know it will help me. So, I don't question anything. Like one time, there was somebody that gave us like over 100 skulls when we were traveling, and they're all gone. Every single one found the place. It was unbelievable. So I don't question it anymore. So I just figure, eventually each one finds the right
Sound like
person
hotcakes.
that's looking for it. So it's
Find,
pretty
find, finding the
amazing.
home, right?
What is it? I
So
didn't.
they're finding their homes, right?
Yes, that's what I say. They find their true guardian and their true homes. You're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
correct. So sometimes they'll ask me to help to do the initial activation. And then I also hold it up and Katrina does a boost from spirit. Um, and I never have any complaints after they come out. Everybody goes, I just love it. I feel great.
Cool.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
it came. I
Are they
have
flying off the shelves like my black?
what is it?
I said, sounds like they're flying off the shelves like my black play skull, but like metaphorically.
Well, it is
Yeah.
different with everyone. I was just going to say there was a soul sister I have in Tampa whose birthday is 4 days in front of mine. So we
Mhm.
have a lot of similarities as Aries. And she saw a crystal skull made out of Atlantisite, which is a purple kind of greenish stone out of Australia. And she loved it. And now it's like, I can't believe how she's working with it and everybody's drawn to it. And she's telling me, well, I'm doing this with the skull and that with the skull. So when I hear that after I'm like, the person in the middle that's helping it to find its home, as you said, and seeing that it's making a difference in the person's life, that's a very rewarding experience for me. So,
Steve here, he's got several crystals himself.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sit and we bring them up. We talk because I found some where I live. It used to be a lake, and they filled it in. And every now and then, when you go outside, I found this rock that looked like a baked potato, and I
Mhm.
turned it over, and it's quartz.
Yeah,
And it's a big one. I've got it sitting on the dresser. I was like, ooh,
yeah,
look at what I got.
yeah,
But
I get some big pieces
Dick
of quartz.
Farm, they just show up.
It's
yeah,
hilarious. Quartz and limestone.
yeah.
I took a piece of quartz recently. I wrapped it in copper and I stuck it in the soil of my Carolina Reaper plant. And
Yeah.
that's an experiment I just started to see how the growth is affected with it. So
Nice.
I believe that's the technology
Very
they
cool.
they used in Atlantis with copper and quartz and electromagnetism. They understood all these things. They were able to work with that kind of stuff, and I believe that kind of technology is going to come back. Like I've seen people,
No doubt.
because electricity and magnetism work hand in hand. You can do things with magnets where you can generate electricity to light up a light bulb without connecting it to electrical circuit. So we're going to have these things come back.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
I'm sure too the crystal skulls have some special energies too that we just don't have a device yet able to work with it. We just work with it spiritually and work with the energies this way for right now. So
Like
it's
like Superman had his
yes, exactly. He had crystals in
Fortress of
his.
Solitude where he put
Yeah,
crystals in it. Yeah, and it would
exactly. So
Well,
like the
all,
I
flea
think
stack on
that
Land of the Lost.
yep, absolutely.
if when we were growing up, if we were taught what all these things were for and the energies that they held and how to conduct our energy, I think that the world would be a better place. I mean,
Absolutely.
but they keep that from us. They've kept it from us. Nobody wants us to know that,
Right.
and they do it for a reason,
Right.
you
So
know?
then here's a little crystal skull made out of amethyst.
Oh my God.
Which have I already forgotten his name? See, this is a problem. Katrina would remember all their names, and I forget them.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that.
what did I call you? I can't even remember. This is so terrible that I forgot the name of this one
It's
because I don't
beautiful.
work with this one too often. I
Lily.
traded copies of one of my Crystal Skull books to get this one because I don't like to buy them. I either trade for them or I get them gifted.
That's
Um,
beautiful.
yeah. So just
Cool.
amethyst. So again, human like.
That's my
Amethyst.
birthstone.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's amethyst. So it's pretty
I think
interesting.
I'd like to find an emerald one.
Yeah,
I
right.
think I think I have seen emerald skulls,
Yeah.
That'd be
right? But
class.
they'll probably be very expensive. Probably be very expensive. But it just takes a carver who's skilled, that knows how to work with diamond tip tools, which can cut through everything, and they can make these things. You and I probably can't even imagine how would you do that. How would you have
No,
the patience sitting there cutting and getting it into the shape? I can't even imagine it. But
mine would look like the Leaning
CNC
Tower of
machine.
Pisa.
yeah, most likely. But there's talented people out there that just, sit there and do it. It's just like when I write, all these words just come out of nowhere. So, or sometimes I have songs that come through me too. I have no clue where it comes from on the guitar. So I noticed, Tommy, you're a guitar player.
Yes.
So my problem is I haven't played for a while, so my fingers are not used to pressing down on the strings, and it's too frustrating because I can't get the strings to sound proper. Only the G chord will
Yeah,
play for me right. If I do something like
yeah,
E minor or A minor, the fingers are too close, they won't press down. So I have to keep
yeah.
practicing.
I understand that.
Because I have more songs they want through me. They were insisting I buy a guitar, so I did buy a 6 string, acoustic guitar. So
Cool.
and some of my old melodies started coming through, but my fingers wouldn't press down enough on the strings.
Yeah. Well, if you need an electric guitar, maybe I'll trade you for a skull.
Well, I
If you need
I,
electric
I don't
guitar.
know
I got
what
several.
would.
They're a lot easier on the fingers.
I know I played one in Tampa that had light strings that I was almost able to play. What is it called? Lexier or
Yeah.
Alexer?
Elixir.
I Yeah, I have them on
Elixir.
there, but apparently
Oh,
they're not
elixir.
right. Elixir. I have Elixir on the acoustic,
Yeah.
but apparently I didn't get the lightest ones. So I figure it's all right.
The
I'll just get the.
nylon strings are really like forgiving on the fingers too.
I know, but I don't like the sound of nylon strings.
Oh, okay.
I like better the
It's
steel string. So
brighter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a personal thing. So
Yeah, I
what
get it.
else? What else you want to ask me about the skulls, or you want to go into another subject? Because I study all kinds of stuff. I have 9 free ebooks that I give out to people. 7 of
Nice.
them I wrote myself, and 2 I was allowed permission to share.
Oh,
So
Nice.
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Tell us about your ebooks. What are they about?
Well, of course, we have a Crystal Skull free ebook. That's only like 100 pages.
Yeah.
I have one on Tartaria.
Hmm.
So
Ooh.
Tartaria is the advanced civilization that existed only 200 some years ago. And I know for a fact that that's correct. I mean, the more I see the buildings that still exist that are so advanced and
Yep.
have towers and antennas and were used for free energy. I mean, even here in Florida, St. Augustine is the oldest city. And every time I go in the downtown area, I see the buildings with the tower, the Star Fort, and the ocean. And I was looking at the bridge too. And I think the bridge was not made recently, also, connecting from the land to come into downtown over the river or whatever it is that's
I've
over
spent some time.
there. You've
Yeah.
been to
I
St. Augustine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
Oh yeah.
Tartaria.
Several
So
times. Like
yeah,
we used to play down there when I was on the road, and then I went to a neurological rehab in Jacksonville in 2018 after um, some brain injuries.
hmm
Um, yeah.
right.
So and so I went one weekend. We went into St. Augustine, but my old bandmate used to live in Hemingway's old house. It's in
Oh yeah, right.
um, right there in
Yeah,
St. Augustine.
yeah.
Yeah, had some good times. There's a place called the Trade Winds. We used to play out there and just kind of randomly. And
hmm
there's that what Ponce de Leon motel or hotel. It's not a motel. It's a hotel.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that place is slick.
Uh-huh. I
We
I'll
have
stayed
tell
there a
you
heard.
couple.
what, I really feel like a nerd. All right. All 3 of you guys know how to play the guitar. The only thing I learned was a frickin' accordion.
Accordion's killer, especially if you play through like a wah pedal and like a pedal board and amp.
You got some
Sick.
I'm a nerd.
technology.
No, you're not a nerd. We all have our special talents. We can't
Well, I
compare it to
wanted
other.
I wanted to do the guitar and drums. I could play the drums too. But my family was like, no, 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 learn how to
Well,
play the accordion. I'm like, you guys are going to get me beat up in school. You know that, right?
you can start whenever you want.
Yeah.
It's just you got to practice. Your fingers get used to moving. and then you have to learn how to press down, and then you're strumming. My strumming's still there, but it's my fingers aren't working because the muscles
Yeah,
aren't
build.
used to it. I
Yeah,
was
build up calluses.
Yeah, my roommate showed me an exercise. He plays guitar too, so I just need to get on there and do this exercise every day, and eventually it'll work because it was before. So
Well, see, I have trigger finger and my middle finger, so I would like have to play like this, and everybody would think I was flipping them off. So
it'd be
that
hard.
that's horrible.
It would be difficult to play the guitar if you have one
I've,
finger sticking out.
Yeah.
Just take up the blues and get a slide.
I've had trigger fingers where both of these.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then in the
anyway,
middle of a con, like in the middle,
right. Anyway, getting
But
back to
I'd
the
like play.
ebooks.
but
So we have
you have
Tartaria, Crystal Skulls,
yes.
Flat Earth, only 500 pages for that one. So that would probably be the most controversial, but I know for a fact that we're not on the globe. Now, whether it's flat like they say and we have a dome and all that, most likely, but really doesn't matter, I think, because we have enough problems here that we got to deal with it. But once we have our levitation craft and we can go up about 70 miles into the sky, we'll see if there's a dome up there. And if there's a dome up there, then we know that it's not a globe. Okay, that means
Oh, I
there's
know
no
it's not.
outer space. There's no outer space like they show it. So that
Well,
throws
Steve and
people.
I are definitely flat earthers. So
Are
is
you?
Susie, my other cohort. I don't know about Tommy. Yeah, Tommy, we're not on a spinning ball, honey.
No.
I love you.
All I could tell
but
you,
we're not.
Tommy.
I've
All I
been up
could tell
high
you, Tommy, is
the curvature of the Earth.
I saw something from NASA, an official document, and they kept saying flat, non-rotating Earth,
Mhm.
so that they could explain to the pilot of the test plane how to fly the plane over the Earth.
Yep.
Okay, because if it's round,
Mhm.
they would have to be curving their craft down to follow the curvature of the Earth, and they never do that. They
Yes.
never do that. They don't have to do that.
And I
Well,
know pilots.
gravity actually does that.
I know pilots, and a lot of pilots have to sign a non-disclosure because they're not allowed to tell you. But I know pilots that have told me, yes, it is.
It's
And
flat.
why we go from here to here to here to here, Tommy, why we go from here to here to here to here is because if they just took it straight, people would ask why.
Right.
And they can't explain that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Tommy, where did you go?
Right, but the key to the flat Earth is not just these continents that we know. There's more outside the dome, and there's a
Yes.
book called "The Iron Republic," where somehow they found an opening in the ice wall in Antarctica, and they went to these other people, and they knew all about us, and they had people living there that were from our continent. And that could be where some of these ET galactic beings come from. They're not from outer space. They're from our realm, but these other continents that we don't know about.
The way it was explained to me is we are inner space
Hmm.
beyond the ice walls, the outer space.
Yeah,
That's the way it was explained to me.
right. So, yeah. So all this truth is going to be coming out in the near future. Like by the time we get to paradise, the children of the future, they will be totally okay with our galactic brothers and sisters walking the streets with us. No big deal. They're going to know all this stuff. They're going to probably say, "How could you possibly believe that the Earth was a globe?" Because, as a matter of fact, there was a flat earther who interviewed a lady that was over 100 years old, and when she was a little girl, they were teaching flat Earth, not globe.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Right. They were
Yes.
teaching that it was flat Earth, not a globe. It's when NASA started coming out, all of a sudden we're on a globe. Okay. And I even saw an interview with a guy. What did he create? He was like a graphic. Oh, yeah, it was a graphic artist. He was the one that was creating what we're supposed to be seeing, like from outer space of the Earth. He said, I created all that, you know, and they just made it into, I forget what they call this kind of expanded graphic that looks 3D or something like that. But he created all that.
Well,
So
Steve here does photography, and he can tell you what creates the curvature when you look at the Earth, what kind of lens that they use, and it's that fisheye lens.
yeah,
NASA Q17,
yeah,
NASA is CIA ran.
yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
that's the kind of quite what they put in the windows of the plane too, for the passengers, so it looks like there's a curvature. This foot fish hook. Yeah. So
I know we've had Penny Bradley on here, and I know,
yeah,
but we don't all agree on certain things. Because when, look, this is what I realized: our people that have been in the super soldier programs, when they're taken and sent to other planets, they're also put to sleep. They go through a wormhole, a whatchamacallit.
dimensional portal.
Yeah. So they don't really know where they come up and where they started.
Yeah.
So I love Penny Bradley, her and I get along great. We don't always agree on the same things, but it's okay to not agree. That's your individuality. So
Right.
it works out good.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's it's one of those things where I've kind of always known, and I have dated pilots in the past, and I have a good friend who has a brother that works for NASA,
Hmm.
and he set me straight in the beginning. And he said NASA lies because they are part of the CIA. They have to have that control, because if the people actually knew that the one biggest lie that there is on this planet is NASA.
Hmm.
They never landed on the moon. Nobody ever
No,
landed on the moon.
because
Our
it's
moon
flat.
is not a moon. Our moon is a space base,
Yeah.
and it is not. It has not ever happened. So when I had brought it up with my friend, I was like, "Oh, your brother works for NASA. So did they fake those pictures?" And he turned around, and started laughing. He said, "You know, my brother, it took me years to get him to sit down with me and tell me the truth. And I had to wait until 2 years after he left NASA, because that's how long his, non-disclosure lasts." He said,
Yeah.
"I had to wait 2 years after he left before he finally sat me down and said, we never went there.
Right.
Everything was fraudulent."
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I said, why? Why would they do this? Well, because Russia was talking about it and they wanted to do it first. So they made it up.
On
And then
tele.
once they made it up, everybody else made it up, because they're like, woohoo, hey, we can do this.
Right. On Telegram, there was a son of a military person. I guess his father had passed away. His father was guarding them while they were filming the so-called moon landing. And the guy who did, what is it, 2021, or that a great movie director, he was the one that directed it. And he talked about it too before he died. Also, he mentioned it. So this is going to be what I think most people are going to have difficulty with, is when these truths start coming out about what really has gone on, like within the last 40, 50 years and everything. A lot of people are going to have a hard time believing that. So, but everything, according to Argus, everything by 2037 to 2040, everything is good. The world's at peace. We're part of the galactic of affiliations. We have total peace, everything. And yeah, we'll be celebrating every day. And
Yeah.
also too, I just had a vision too of this family that I'm going to be creating, my new family. We have Tommy back, where
Sorry
we're
about
going to
that. My
have,
phone just shut.
okay, we're going to have communities, lots of communities. So,
That's
so
something I believe in.
yeah,
I mean,
So you'll
I wouldn't mind walking around with people. Now, I will tell you this because you don't know this about me, Josh. I
okay.
have encountered reptilians
Yeah, they're there.
myself, and they smell so bad. So I have not encountered any really bad ones, but I haven't encountered good ones. I've heard a lot of bad
Yeah,
because they actually live off of us, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
they need our blood. But um, I can tell when they're even in human form because I can smell them.
The
And
shapeshifters, you mean?
yes, and I can even walk by them in the store, and I know,
Oh
and
yeah,
they know I know because they will stare me down. And it's like, oh God, stop thinking, Brenda. Stop thinking. Stop
Yeah,
thinking.
because they're telepathic.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think most of them are being slowly taken away. And Carrie Cassidy once did an interview and she made a comment and it just sticks with me. Creator is not going to allow these galactic, negative galactic beings, negative ET beings to keep interfering in our natural evolution. So this is part of the process that's in the process of changing right now. And we're getting a lot of help. And, that's why I know that we're headed in that direction. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the key domino to fall, and then they're going to really start coming out with the truth about the
Yeah.
galactics and extraterrestrial, and then you'll start meeting the good ones. I think the Pleiadians will be one of the first we'll probably meet. I mean, they've been helping them, and I know I have a male Pleiadian on my left side who's kind of says, "I'm sticking with you to guard to make sure that your center happens." Okay, so I think he can make me invisible or something like that if I have to be invisible.
you the
So,
center you keep describing it sounds
yeah.
very similar to something I started designing years ago.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So let's see what other topics. So I have another ebook with UFOs, but I think this is from another source. And there's after I interviewed Gene Decode several times, and I did a book where I start talking about like things that are going on behind the scenes that people don't know about. So from some of his information and other things that I
It's a
was
good thing
finding.
to get out there.
Yeah.
So
So
So what
those,
yeah,
we will definitely have to get, we will definitely have to do a show on some of that disclosure. Definitely.
yeah.
Um, I can't wait until that big domino falls either. Um,
yeah.
and it's amazing how many people do know about what and why. Um, I can't say that I always know why, but I have very connected sources that I speak to.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I get stuff mailed to me by one of them all the time. His son. So, but it's it is definitely worth talking about if we could find a way to not get in trouble doing it. Um, I've often thought about that. I've been trying to do the whole uh, streaming live on Rumble only, but for some reason I just can't get it, and I pay for Rumble, and I can't hook it. I don't know if it's just my platform doesn't support it, so I've been uploading to it. So I've got to figure out how to do it with Rumble just by itself on its own, and maybe every now and then throw a show on Rumble.
Yeah. That's the platform I use for the videos, interviews, things like that too. But I just directly upload the video. I never have any problem. I don't do it through a platform. I just manually I say, here it is. Like we just did a crystal skull panel that we just released a few days ago. So I need to get that up on my Rumble channel. people who watched it liked it. So we had all these different perspectives on crystal skulls from different people. Went good.
Now, and I'll tell you another thing that really interests me is Tartaria.
Yeah, it's definitely real. I mean, every time
Oh,
I
yeah.
see another video on Telegram, more buildings, and another thing that somebody talked about too is not just the buildings we recognize, but a lot of the, like in the southwestern part of the United States, this one person was saying all these like strange rock formations actually were buildings before that were, I guess, disrupted or something like that, but they were huge and beautiful and everything. Maybe the Grand Canyon actually was a building at some point. Maybe that's why we have all these strange things they're finding inside the Grand Canyon. So all these kind of things are just starting to come out unbelievably. So once you understand Tartarian, you start looking at the buildings, then you can't go, I can't go back to what I used to think. You can't,
Yes,
because there's no way in the last 400 years before we had our modern technology, any of those buildings could have been done. Probably the Great Wall of China was done by the Tartarians also.
I think so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that had to be where it came from.
I thought
So
about talking to Steve here because he likes architecture stuff. So I thought about talking to him about us deep diving into Tartaria
yeah.
and getting a bunch of information and then doing a show on it.
Yeah,
Because
it's
yeah,
become
it's
extremely popular right now. So that's like, it used to be very controversial, but now like everybody's talking about it. So you can do it without a problem. Flat Earth, I'm still finding people that hate me if I start talking about it. Like I have what we call soul family gatherings, where I'm trying to bring together here in the Orlando area. Now, this month, we're going to start in Tampa. Spiritual people just come and talk to each other and create family and talk about our experiences or if we have questions or whatever. But when I started bringing it up, like nobody had something to talk about, so I said, okay, well then I'm going to bring up a controversial subject, and everybody knew I
way
was
to
going to
do it.
talk about that, and they went, no, no, don't talk about that, please.
I mean, it's okay. I actually like the controversy because it's one of those things, you know. What are we sharing, Steve?
My visit from NASA.
Oh,
Oh, wow, cool.
But there's another picture I want to show besides this one.
oh, okay.
This is the vehicle that they apparently brought onto Apollo 16.
Oh,
Bunch of tinfoil and rubber tires. Good job, guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
right, right. Or a
I
lot of
have a
people,
bunch of pictures from it though.
right,
But
a
this
lot
is
of
a
people,
few.
a lot of people ask about NASA when they went to the
Styling.
moon and the lander left and we saw it leaving. Who was recording that it was leaving?
they left the camera there. That's what a lot
Oh,
of people will
yeah,
tell
but it
you.
was following. I don't think our cameras were that sophisticated back in the
That
60s.
looks like a bicycle
Yeah.
frame.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Looks like a trailer hitch
Yeah,
attachment.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yeah.
It's like a-
Didn't they film the
it's like
moon
a
landing in
museum.
Malibu?
yes, I believe they did in a pool.
Yeah, it was at Lower Canyon Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, remind me after the show,
It's
Steve.
up
I
on
need
the
to,
one of the-
or Tommy, both of you, either one of you. I need to make Denise, Julie, and maybe Norma, if she wants to, I can put her on there. I need to make them monitors for the chat. We had somebody jump in there and say something, and one of the girls got them real quick. so yeah, I've been meaning to do that, and seeing those two are always here, even before we even start the show. They're in the chat. Hi guys, So I think that we should do that. Julie says, is Tataria also connected to children being taken? I don't know.
Indirectly, because there were all these orphans that showed up in the 1800s So where did the children go before that, and where did these children come from? So indirectly, I think.
Ah,
Yeah, because I'm not sure. Because it's almost like it was a total restart, and plus the Tartarians were very tall, like twice our size. That's
so
why
they were
some of
in.
right. That's
Sorry.
why some of the churches and the cathedrals, the doors are so huge to go into them.
So, what time period are we talking about for Tartaria? When was the demise or the downfall, and
Right.
like where in the United States are some of the something that I've heard a little bit about, but haven't done much research on. Like what cities are they, or
All
areas are they
all the major
ruins found
cities,
in mostly?
all the major cities had Tartarian in it.
Oh yeah,
All of them. Um,
okay,
so the downfall, we know more than we know, like when did it start? Okay. Downfall, they're talking about late 1700s, early 1800s. But then it continued on after, and the experts said there was a mud flood. So in other words, the world got flooded with water. Where did all the water come from? Did it come from the waters above underneath the dome? Maybe, I don't know. Um, and so they got rid of the people and they kept the buildings. But then what happened is into the 1800s, like for example, if you look in the United States, all these main cities had fires, like the Chicago fire or the
yeah,
Chicago World's Fair in 1893.
yeah.
There were over 100 of these beautiful buildings on the south side, and they said it took them 2 years to make them. No way. And then they got rid of all of them. Then they did the same thing in Buffalo. Then they did the same thing in St. Louis. Then they did the same thing in Paris. Probably in World War I and World War II, they were destroying Tartarian buildings.
So
So,
National
the Chicago flood was actually started by my child's grandmother's family. Somebody, one of their ancestors.
uh-huh.
They
Okay.
had a cow. They kicked over a lantern. Yeah,
Well, that's what they said started it. See, we
yeah.
can't be sure of whatever we're told in history if it's really the truth or not.
Now, do you think the people from Tataria were in with our Nephilim, our giants? That type
I
of connection?
I haven't heard anything connecting them, so I don't know. I feel this is what I feel intuitively, that they were a peaceful people and they were very advanced spiritually and technologically. This had to be the case because otherwise, why would they get rid of them? If they were a horrific people, a warlike people, then they would have fought and they would still be here. We might be Tartarian now, okay, but somebody didn't like what they were doing. So I believe they were peaceful and harmonious, and they had advanced technology like free energy. And
Yeah, like Nikola Tesla
yeah,
was
and some
creating.
people say Nikola Tesla may not have developed those things. He rediscovered them from the Tartarians.
Right.
Okay, so that
I
could be
think that's what it was. I think that he had spiritual contact with
uh-huh,
them, and they gave him the information.
yeah. So
Yes.
he rediscovered it. So but somebody has all this information. So somebody knows, when did Tartaria start? Was it linked to Atlantis somehow? I don't know. Okay, because all the history was destroyed. So we can only focus on what evidence is left. What do we still see? Um, you know, um, so I don't know when it began. I'm assuming that they started at least several hundred years prior to this, maybe 1,000 years. I don't know.
And it's
Now,
really hard to go by any type of a history book or anything like that
yeah,
Okay.
because they just put in there what they want to put in there. They
ex-
don't,
right, exactly.
you know.
And it's like they don't want you to know about Tartaria. They did everything possible to keep it out of the history book. Now, when I talked to Gene Decode, he said that it might be coming from a different timeline of the Earth, which is an interesting theory, but I'm not totally sure how that would work. Because for me, there's a part of me that almost feels like these people shouldn't even be on the Earth, but yet here's all the evidence that they were. So I don't know why he said that. I couldn't understand why he came up with that, but so we just have to see. Somebody has all this knowledge and information
Yes.
somewhere, and it will be coming out. And the only reason why I like to talk about Tartary or flat Earth is because I want people to know that probably almost everything that we've been taught is a lie. It's not
Yes.
the truth. Okay. So,
Absolutely.
so if they're going to lie about our history and they're going to lie about the true nature of our world, what else are they going to lie about?
That's right. And
Right.
they've lied about other beings
Right.
when obviously a lot of people have seen them,
Yeah.
been abducted by them.
Yeah.
Then, they lied about all of this. Why? Well, I know the abduction part, and that is because there was a treaty signed that
Yeah.
allowed them to abduct humans.
Right.
They weren't going to tell us about that. Well, because we probably would have beat them up. Who gave you
Right.
permission over my body to allow somebody to come and get me?
Yeah. Exactly.
So they do. They lie and lie and lie and lie and lie more. But they've been doing it for decades.
Right. But it's coming to the point now where our reality cannot exist on lines. It eventually self-destructs. And that's kind of like what's going on right now. It's self-destructing. Okay. Every aspect, medical, entertainment, political, all the key aspects of our society, it's
The
self-destructing.
cities upon cities upon cities upon cities in our that are down in our earth.
Right.
There are cities down there
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
below us.
Right.
There are beings below us that live there that have been there.
Yeah.
They have false sunlight. They have false stars.
Yeah.
They have everything. All of that is under
Right.
beneath us.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yep. But I don't want to keep you too much longer.
okay.
Thank you so much for coming on, Gene.
Gotcha.
You kept saying Gene Decode, and now I got Gene in my head. I actually watch him.
Well, he talks about a lot of interesting things.
Oh, yes, he does. Very interesting.
So,
Now,
can I give out some contact information before we finish up?
yes, you sure can.
Okay. So, do it now.
Yes.
Okay. The easiest way for people to contact me is through my email, which is Crystal Skull Explorers. Hold on here. My battery's going, so I got to get it up. Okay. Crystal Skull Explorers at gmail.com. So if they want these 9 free ebooks, you just say, hey, I heard you on the show and I want to know, and I have an email I send that has a direct link how to get any of them, whichever one people are interested in. I created these free ebooks because, we had crazy things going on back in 2020, 2021, and Spirit told me not to travel outside of where I was living in Georgia. So I got bored. So I said, okay, I'll just start doing books. And I'll make them free because people need to have this information, and I wasn't hurting for money. So that's the best way. Website is cse.crystalskullexplorers.com. So that's the website to go to. So those are pretty much the two main ways. So if you just contact me through there, then I can tell you about, on Facebook, we have Crystal Skull Explorer member community, bringing everybody together. You can join. If you're in Florida by Orlando or Tampa, we have soul family gatherings that you can participate in. If you're interested in some of the other books I have, or every time I get on to a show, I put on my Facebook the link to the show so people can listen to it, or if people are interested in the panel we just did. Or if they want to get their own crystal skull, I work with carvers in India that are extremely talented and they make some really great one. So, or if you even want to have one of my intuitive readings, we can do it on Zoom. So, my two main gifts is I feel energy, so I can feel what it's like to be the person I read. And then, of course, I have Katrina and I hear things. So it usually comes out, and I make sure that everybody's smiling after they leave one of my sessions. So if they're not smiling, I'll tell some of my Jewish jokes, so they'll be laughing or whatever. But
Steve
the
knows
key,
those.
right? But the key in the session is to empower that person, that there's something I say that they can use and make a difference, or see something clearly. um, so I'm a jack of all trades, and eventually my fingers are going to come back to being used to playing on the guitar, so I can bring back some new music.
There you
like,
go.
like they want me to
You
change
gotta
the
get your,
lyric.
you gotta get your calluses.
Use what? I know there's a device for this too that you can buy, right?
I think
But
so.
yeah, but it probably just use my guitar, and he just showed me, just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and just do it on the fret and go down. Do that. Eventually it'll come back, and as I play, I'll just grit and bear it out there until I got
Yeah,
until I
you gotta
have
build
it.
those calluses.
Huh? What is it?
You gotta build those calluses up
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I have no calluses on my
on your
fingers
finger.
now.
Calluses on your fingers.
Yeah, right. I know. I used to have that and they went away. So
That,
so I have
that
some
just
music that also will come through me too. I know. So I'll tell you one quick story before I go. So we had a Crystal Skull conference that we organized in Holland. And because all the different countries in Europe speak different languages, English is their common language. So this is how I was able to communicate with people, because when they go to school, they have to learn English. So I got we on the Friday night we kind of had like a celebration where they got to meet the speakers, and then I got some people together, and I have a Crystal Skull theme song which is on YouTube. So if anybody wants that, I can send you the link to if you contact me. So I taught some other musicians how to play it, because it's really simple chords to play. And so at the end of the song, where it comes where I sing one family, and I think one of my musical spirit guides gave me the melody how to do this, because it just came out of nowhere when I start playing this. I had to put the guitar down, but see, I had a band with me so that people were still playing. Usually it's just me on the guitar singing. And I went out into the audience and I sang, and I got everyone to sing one family at the end. And somebody took a picture in this room that we were in where we were performing. There were orbs all over the ceiling that he took while we were all singing together. So it was really one of the most magical things. So I know in the future that if all of us would find one song that we could all sing at the same time together, the next instant world peace would happen to our world. Because all it takes is us to just do one thing together, all together, and we could do that. So I'm asking whoever I work with, maybe I could come up with that one song that I could get everybody to sing, because I think my Crystal Skull song, it's too out there, but maybe I could change the lyrics to it because it has a good melody to it, and just come up with a song for world peace or something like that. Take out Crystal Skulls, do peace or whatever.
Right.
So,
yeah.
so we'll see. But when I have my center, I will be able to hire people to sing and do music and everything. And there's parts of my song that I cannot sing to. So I think it will be enhanced. So I'm kind of looking forward to
People
that.
with other voicings.
If I could have my leg back, I used to dance, but I would leave the singing to Tommy because, good Lord, I would chase off a dozen cats. I don't.
Okay, well, we could have
Singing's
dancing.
not my ground.
Right. Dancing and singing is good. Get everybody up there doing that. Just feeling that joy. That's what it's about. The
Yeah.
joy of life, and us coming together as soul family, because that's what
That's
I
Mhm.
right.
see in the future. We're going to hug each
Unity.
other. We're going to love everybody. We're not going to have a problem with people in this future that ours is in. We
That's
may not
me.
agree. We may
Killing
not
everything.
agree. Right. We may not agree on everything, but we're not going to argue about it. It's not worth it to argue about it.
Right.
And we might learn some new things from each other if we don't agree on some things, because
Yeah.
Yes.
Creator once told me, I asked him, I said, how do you benefit from each of us? We're so small connected to the infinite universe we find ourselves in. And this answer that came back was very simple: your unique experiences, of course. That was it. So whoever we are, our good parts, our bad parts, it doesn't matter. Whoever we are, Creator loves us and experiences through us our unique experiences.
That's right.
Our
So that's
humanness.
that's all it is. So imagine a world like that where we're all having our unique experiences and joy and sharing and dancing and singing. That's our future.
That's
So
right.
I know it for a fact. We're headed in that direction. So how we get
Yeah.
there, I don't know that yet, but something will come up soon. Maybe we won't have the election on Tuesday. A lot of people are saying that. Maybe something else will come up to disrupt that. But
You
right,
know,
because
nothing surprises me anymore.
right, because we will have the Republic of the United States will be the government here in our country.
And it needs to.
Right, and
It
it's
needs to get
how
back to that.
right, how we were initially established in the beginning. So
Yes.
it's already in place. It's just waiting for the old system right now to just completely fall apart, and then it will step forward. And then we'll have
Yeah.
new elections, and any one of us can run for any position we want.
Singularity.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of good stuff is coming up soon.
Run for president, Tommy. I'll vote for you.
Yeah, why not?
Hell no. Uh-uh.
Perfect candidate right there. He doesn't want it.
Now, Cletus Proceedus, he'll run for president in a heartbeat. Hell yeah. Hey, change the national anthem to Trap House Cotillion.
Yeah, right?
Executive order number 9464423777496.
Right.
Oh,
Makes sense.
But
Right.
Joshua, thank you so much for coming. And
My
we
pleasure.
will have to have you back, and we will get into some deep diving on our government. Why not? What the heck?
Yeah, it's going to be going away anyway, so we might as well let
Yeah.
people know. So
We
they'll
can
get
do it on
used-
the night that we can all wave bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
thank
it works
you,
out
Joshua.
right there.
anarchists unite. I'm joking.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, Joshua, for joining us.
Anytime. All right. Take care now.
You too.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Jason, did you say that you wanted to hear Trap House? Is that what you were talking about, Jason? Jason said, "Did I come back in time for Trap House?"
Trap House Cotillion. It's gonna be. Hey, that's gonna be the new national anthem. It's gonna be
The
a
new
whole
national
movement.
anthem. That's
Culture.
right. That's correct. That is correct.
Hey, moon pies for everybody, right? We're gonna do.
Hey,
we're gonna do
speaking of moon
deep
pies.
fried We're gonna do moon pie serenade.
Tommy, did I tell you that I went and bought some blueberry moon pies?
They make blueberry.
Yes, they make blueberry.
Never had moonberry or blueberry. You know.
Yeah,
Moonberry.
moonberry,
Hey.
bloomberry. So, hey guys, before we start screwing around, I want to tell everybody.
Bishop local.
Yeah, Stephen, can you put your stuff in the chat so that people that aren't already subscribed to your channel can go over and subscribe to your channel and get notifications? I did a really fun show today with Steve. It was really cool, and he wants to start doing more like that and expanding the channel and getting different people on. And we're gonna bounce around, do some stuff together.
Oh man.
We're gonna drag Tommy with us, kicking and screaming. Probably, I don't know.
This candy bar bet I would sing Trap House Cotillion. Instead, I just fell asleep.
What? It was a
I
candy.
said there was a 6 candy bar bet that I would play. That I would play the Halloween party, and play Trap House Cotillion, and I just fell asleep. I never could get a.
Well, that's how I
A
found.
bunch of like scary stories and shit I wanted to share.
Yeah. That's how I found out.
Yeah.
I got in the chat, and Jason's like, "Brenda, Tommy fell asleep." I said, "Oh God, let me call him." And I tried to call you. Well, that's it. He's out cold.
It's the frequency induced narcolepsy. Like, you know. When
Yes.
it gets
And
bombarded
that's
by-
it, Jason. That's what I was gonna say. The thing of it is with that show that he did, there were so many people that were there that consciousness and spiritual and just a whole mix of energy that I even had to step out because there was a few people there that kind of zonked me, and I couldn't do it. So I had to leave. So when you do a show with that much energy, and some of it is different energy than others, it can really affect a lot of the people that are on there.
Yeah, mine was weapon, but
You what?
mine was like frequency based. Mine was frequency based direct energy weapon.
Yeah.
That happens, somewhat regularly.
Well, whatever was going on at Tommy's house
Make
also
you
knocked.
agitated, make you. You've seen me like on air. All of a sudden, I just go blank and completely have no idea what I'm talking about, and just can't remember what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then whatever was going on with him, it knocked his skull off of a landing thing and broke it all up.
Yeah, I think that was Lucy. But then last night it was sitting there all taped back together. I taped it back together to figure out what goes where. So when I glue it, it's easier to. I'm not having to figure out what order the parts go, pieces go in, where they go, and it completely just it disassembled itself again.
Right.
It's like the tape just decided to say fuck it and give up.
It was done. It was gone.
It's kind of weird.
It was.
Yeah.
But I've got double protection now. Dennis Carroll sent me my medallion that has the seven archangels that's been blessed and anointed, and then he also sent me a special a special Archangel Michael pin, and so between that, prayers, my spiritual nature, I think I'm going to be pretty good protected from quite a few things. Things are still going to try. I mean, it happens, and it's horrible. Let's see. What about Capricorn, Lantera? Yeah, he's going to do that too, Julie. He did a reading on me, Julie, and tell her, Steve, about the cards you pulled on me.
Yeah, it was all talking about exactly what was going on in her life, and I didn't have any clue about it.
And everything was positive. So yeah, it was pretty good. He was like, wow.
I did a reading on myself, and I had just been betrayed earlier in the day, and I got all swords upside down. Can't make that up.
Yeah, everything he drew he did it in front of me. Everything he drew was upside down. So yeah.
I just have the Trap House Cotillion official ukulele.
You do what? You're gonna play it on the
Trap House
ukulele?
Cotillion ukulele.
Well, you know what, Tommy?
No, this is the Trap House Cotillion. Huh?
You want to play
What's
it?
that?
You want to play it on the ukulele?
I can. It's better on guitar, but
Oh, well then you might want to play it on the guitar so it sounds better. I don't know.
it says Trap House Cotillion right there on the neck.
Oh
man, I'm getting requests for readings already. What have you done, Brenda? Well, thank you. No, I like that. I want to do that. So I'll take note of.
You get requests for readings. I get requests for Trap House Cotillion.
I love Tommy. Ooh. Hey Tommy, we should do it. You want us to do a reading on you?
Sure, please do.
That'd be kind of neat. Let's do one on Tommy first, and then we'll let's see. Julie wants one. She's gonna start doing some too. Hey, you know what? Julie's gonna start doing mediumship. You know, maybe one time, Steve, you can do a show with Julie. I've had her on the show here before too, and she's a wonderful person. I love Julie. I love you guys. Denise too. I have such good people that watch this show. You guys are awesome, all of you. And Jason,
Best regulars on the internet.
I follow Jason all over the place. I swear we watch the same freaking shows. Every time I turn around, I'll say hi in a chat. There's Jason. I'm like, are you following me?
You know, That wasn't the first time I've fallen asleep live on live stream. I did it playing the mandolin one night.
Did you end up like that painting? You're just like sitting up.
What's that?
Did you end up falling asleep like the painting? You're just holding the mandolin.
Yeah, I'm like this. And I just had slept all night. I was dealing with a bunch of nonsense outside my house, and being targeted is a pain in the ass. I tell you what.
I tell you what, I told you I'm gonna come over to your house one day, and I'm gonna sit in your living room in the dark and wait for something stupid to happen.
Well,
And I'm gonna go outside, and when the cops get there, I'm just gonna say, "I'm in a wheelchair. I was scared for my life. Tommy's passed out."
Yeah, there's right. He's out. Look at him. He's out. Well, they can induce sleep, and that's typically when they come in, it's like in the same way that like MILABs or abduction scenarios where you go into like sleep paralysis kind of. You can't move because there's like a lead weight, like blanket on you to where yeah, that's similar to that. Like they can induce sleep, and then most police precincts or departments nowadays have they have the ability to see heat signatures inside the house, or have with the smart meters they can get and use they create an image of the inside of a room from the acoustics or from the sensors, and so they know if there's someone in the room or who it is, typically from their wireless body area network, sensors going off and being network being tracked and whatnot. It's not as simple as just somebody breaking in the house and acting a fool and being a dick, moving stuff around. It's a psyop, it's constant, fuckery, and sometimes people get involved that take personally because they're handlers or whatever. And they have close access, and then you call them out on their shit, and they're typically narcissists, and then they take that shit personal, and then they get extra special dickish.
Yeah, dickish. Good word, dickish. Well, you remember that night I was down at the friend's house, and somebody pulled out here in front of my house, and I'm looking at them, and I took pictures of the car, and boy, they took off when they realized what I was doing. I was like, yeah, go on with yourself. But yeah, let's do that. Let's do a couple of readings, and let's see how that works. And I heard Julie's going to trade with Steve on readings, so I should pull. Julie, brush your hair.
What you got?
You come on here and swap readings with Steve. But let's have Steve do a reading on Tommy. I'm interested in that. Steve, take the floor. Now?
Sure. This minute, huh? All right.
Why not?
Hold on, I gotta get the deck out.
Oh, this is my spirit animal.
Oh, and by the way, let me tell everybody. I got a brand new seat for my wheelchair, a new pad, and it's made of memory foam. And oh, my butt is in heaven.
Nice.
It is nice.
Does it remember you?
Huh? Does it remember me? Only when I get up. It screams, oh, thank God I can breathe.
I'm setting up my tripod for the camera.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to put the cards on the table behind me.
Okay.
And we'll just do the reading that way. Because this is the table I was going to use anyway. For
nice.
While you're doing that, should Tommy go ahead and play a song?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Play a song, Tommy.
Music to set up the camera to.
That's right.
Hold on. Let me find it. Let me find something here. Oh, here we go. There's a pick. Woo! In the immortal words of Ric Flair. Let's see. I got something. Let's see. Okay.
Well, play whatever one it was that Jason wanted you to play.
Trap House Cotillion?
I guess so.
The one about drugs and stuff? Okay. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Etiquette, predicate, chemical feeling. Trap House Cotillion. Street smart, sweetheart, slinging dope black day, sweet tarts. She's a big ballin' bitch, house gasoline, eating Zanny bars, flipping trampoline. She's a old up in the limousine. You wanna throw up in your left, make a ding a ling. I said, Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Ha. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. What's the latest, greatest, greasy gravy? Bridget, Betty, Barbie, and baby. Up all night, up all day, rocking to the rhythm of the microwave. Said beep, 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 beep. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Ah, Trap House Cotillion. Etiquette, predicate, chemical feeling. Trap House Cotillion. Ringworm serenade to sing. Tapeworm promenade. Pink rosy silk got it made. I got a bowling ball bag with a million suede. 16 pounds with my ball down weight. I roll tree honey like every day. Bacon, 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 Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Etiquette, predicate, chemical feeling. Trap House Cotillion. Twerk, twerk, twerk. Text it, make a jerk, jerk. Kick it to the kitty, make a squirt, squirt. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Etiquette, predicate, chemical feeling. Trap House Cotillion. Well, I got me a girl with the name's Darlene. She's the sexiest thing on the trap house scene. Fuck with the snacks because she's crazy mean. More tiger blood than Charlie Sheen on Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Trap House Cotillion. Bitches eating cornbread. Remember now, it's some hillbilly rock right here. It's a hillbilly rap. You know, it's a hill hop. It's that old hill hop. You know, Clebro C and whatnot and so forth and so on. I mean, we're breaking it down. We're slang banging, just, you know, making it happen, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Little moonshine, you know. Hell, whatever it takes. You know, 220, 221, whatever. Ever 220% or proof of alcohol? Woo!
You know, Tommy, you would make a really good hillbilly.
Well, hey, that's because I am hillbilly, and I am from around a bunch of hillbillies. I'm from like old stock hillbillies from back in the days, back when hillbilly was cool. Back before it was cool, and it's still what it is now too, or in the future or something. I don't know, but the past for sure. I mean, I come from a long line of dirt farmers.
I come from a long line of male whores. Apparently.
Or at least one of them.
It's all right. My daddy was a whore.
I'm using the Rider Tarot deck.
Okay.
Did I get? All right.
So I'll just do a general reading for you, Tommy.
All right. What should I be thinking about?
What should you be thinking about? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, focus your intentions on what
No,
you
not her.
want.
Tommy, don't think about her. Think about somebody else. Don't think about her.
Positive thoughts, at least. At the very least.
Okay. Positive. Okay. All right.
You guys see, I'm just shuffling. Nothing tricky here. I'm doing everything like I always do. Yeah, these two. All right. So we have 4. We'll do 3 more, and we'll take the Archangel Michael deck. We'll take 2 cards out of that, and then we'll reveal it all. All right. Sometimes these just fly out, and then those are the cards to use, like that one. One more. Right there. That's it. Okay. So we got those. And now we need... These oracle cards are just more reinforcement to the message that is going to be read. So these are a little more direct, too.
That's right. You use a regular deck of tarot, and you use the oracle cards too, right?
Yeah. And it's more like a supplemental oracle deck. At least that's how I use it. So... All right, so first one will be for your present. And the second will be for your future. All right, this one. Perfect. All right. So we're going to flip these guys over first. We have the 5 of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Damn, it's already looking real positive for you. Got the 6 of Pentacles. Oh, Queen of Pentacles. Damn, son. We have the 5 of Swords. Another very positive one here. We have 5 of Cups. Okay. So that gives me a little more information here. And the Page of Swords. All right. Dang, you got all the swords too in this, Tommy. All right, so before I do the oracle cards, I'll say your general reading here is telling me a very positive reading. You have a lot of cards that are very powerful. The 5 of Wands, very positive for you. So anything you're doing right now in terms of confidence and work building, it is making progress, even if you're not seeing it. The Queen of Swords, also very powerful. That also is a confidence card that gets you. You're in the zone. You know what you're doing. It's like you sitting with the guitar there right now. So, and then you got two Pentacle cards, and one's a Queen of Pentacles. Now this is really positive for wealth, but also for just stability as well. And you got the 5 of Swords here and the Page of Swords, but then you have the 5 of Cups upside down. So this one's actually telling me that, Tommy, you have certain things from your past that you do need to let go of, or these other aspects of your life will suffer from it. Because everything else is positive, and you just have this one upside down in the center. And yeah, you see how I shuffle these, so they're all over the place. I pulled all upside down from my reading a few days ago, which was wild. But this is a very positive reading for you, Tommy. It does tell me you're on the right path that you have set for yourself, and it just is going to take consistency to get to the goals that you want to achieve. And here for the Oracle card, we got positive thoughts create positive results. So again, very reinforcing to this reading, as it's mostly positive. And they have prayers on the bottom of the cards, but I'm going to just skip that for now because the main message is up on the top here. And so for your future forecast, lean on God and the angels for support. So you have all the power within you, Tommy. You got it all with you, and the only thing you got to do is just make sure that you're keeping yourself in check going forward, because you have all the tools you need to be successful with what you want to do. So
There,
that's my
Tom.
reading for you.
Cool.
Look at you go, Tommy, go. See, you can do it.
Awesome.
I have faith in you.
So I just gotta not step on my own self. I got to get out of my own way.
You're tripping over yourself.
Yeah. That was my first on-camera live reading, besides doing this privately for Brenda the other day.
Woo woo! Thank you.
We are positive people. Together, Tommy and I rock.
Yeah, generally, you're going to have a lot of positive readings. Like I said, when I did my own reading after I did Brenda's, like earlier in the day, I was massively betrayed, and then I get all upside down swords. I didn't plan that. That's just how it happens.
Yeah.
But when I saw it felt out, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Betrayal, 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 betrayal. So
that's okay. I will not betray you, Steve.
Yeah, the message was that it already happened, and that's how I was. That was like the state I was in at the time when I did the reading. Like I was still burned from earlier in the day.
Was that the? Yeah.
Let's see.
Jason asked what kind of deck I'm using. So that's the Rider Tarot deck. That's a very classic deck, and the Oracle cards are the Archangel Michael. They're from Doreen Virtue. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
Nice.
Now, Julie is going to come on. She's going to do audio only because right now she's not, she's like ready for bed. But she showed me something very interesting, Steve, and I'm going to let her come on here and tell you about it, and we're going to bring it up for you to see it. So was there, let's see, who else wanted a reading? Speak up or forever hold your pieces in your hands.
Here, I'm putting the deck away. So you guys know, I can
don't put that
do one
away.
more. It does take energy to do all this. So, I mean, after a few readings, then I need to take a break.
So you're upside down.
For now.
Do what? Tell me about upside downs.
Steve, you said you had a bunch of upside down swords cards.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
I had like King of Swords, Queen of Swords, 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Those were all upside down.
That was after dealing with the betrayal. I wrote a song after having an Exodus, a bandmates one time. Just stabbed in the back one more time. So many knives in my back looked like a porcupine.
Wow.
Kind of a.
Oh, okay. So Q17 said he would love a reading. Oh, and
I
then there
thought
was
Denise
Julie.
was one of the first that asked. Is she
Who?
still here?
Who was?
Denise?
Uh,
Like she was the first name I saw that asked.
okay.
And Julianne.
Within chronological order.
Denise, are you still in the chat?
This is me getting comfortable with my gift.
Yes. Inhale, exhale.
Do it, man.
Because I learned how to read like in 2019, I think.
Really? Yeah, Denise is still there. She said, of course. Of course she is.
Awesome. Do
And then
you
what?
have a question for source? That's something you want answered from the deck.
Yeah. Do you want information on a certain something, Denise, or just general? Hiya, Julie. Uh-oh. Julie, can you hear us, Julie?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, there you are.
I can hear you. I had to make sure that the audio was off.
She said yes. Can she think of it in her head?
Sure. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay. Then after this one, we'll let Julie do yours, Steve, and then while she's doing yours, you can take a little break, and then you can do one on Julie. It's a swap.
That sounds good. That
Okay.
should give me enough time.
Okay. Tommy. You know, they say guitarists are really good with their fingers. Can you play piano too?
I can.
No, I can play other things though.
Oh.
I mean, I can play a little bit of piano, but you know, keyboard's not my strong suit. Like, I don't know, I have it's all about, you know, finger positions and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I just I can if I sat down and like practice, but it's you know. Let's say I do stuff. If I use it when I'm recording, I use like a synthesizer, and then I'll just do a little bit and record that piece and then loop it. And, you know.
Okay, Denise says she's got it in her head.
Okay. This is a reading for Denise. Cards are not wanting to pop out. Oh, there we go. Two.
Come jumping out.
They're kind of peeking out. They're not really jumping out today. So maybe that's a good thing.
They're peeking.
More relaxed energies.
I got my tuning forks today, Tommy, by the way.
Nice.
I hit each one of them before I put them back in the box because I wanted to hear what they sounded like.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm getting a really sharp pain at the top of my head like somebody's hit me with a hammer. Stop it.
Yeah. All right.
Music to shuffle by.
Shuffle.
Music to shuffle to.
Music to shuffle to. Da, 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 ta,
And
ta,
the
ta.
present card for Denise.
Oh, and by the way, I think it was Denise or Julie. We were talking about, you know, how you got, I have the smiley face instead of the dollar sign. YouTube says that I don't have quite enough subscribers yet and not enough hour videos. Like, I'm not doing, I have to have so many hours before I can start doing that thing for the donations. And I'm like, really? And of course, they just changed it. They just changed it and made everything higher. And they would do that to me because, well, they're sneaky like that.
Okay, we are all ready.
You need a bunch of
We're
shorts
ready for
too.
the reveal for Denise here.
Yes, I need to make a bunch of shorts, but I don't know how to do it.
Woo! All
Oh.
right, we got a 10 of wands. That so that's telling me. Now let's see what, before I say what I think that is, let's look at the rest here. Ace of Pentacles. Excellent. Knight of Wands. Whoa!
Whoa.
Don't usually get the sun. That's interesting. Got the Two of Wands. Oh, got the Four of Swords. And the Five of Wands. Very interesting. All right, so 10 of Wands is telling me something's burdening you. You might be taking on too much at once. But it's yeah, it's a struggle right now for you, for whatever this is. But the Ace of Pentacles tells me you're like there's no worry for money here with whatever the situation is. Even if you, I guess I could relate it to, like, I run an eBay store and I don't all the time get sales like I like to, but the money does come in. It doesn't come in when I think it will, but it does. So these two, I think, complement each other a bit. Like, this situation is stable financially, but it's more of how much are you taking on. The Knight of Wands is also telling me you've made a decision of what to keep and what to drop, and very confident with that decision as well. The Sun, this is a very like mixed message card. It is positive, and you know, you got the white horse, you have the flowers in the back. I think those are dandelions. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to look at that a little more. I'm getting a sense of freedom from this, though. Just a overall freedom. Two of Wands, again, very confident in the decision made from all of this. And the Four of Swords is also saying that this was a sacrifice, or will be a sacrifice that you'll have to make. But it's not deathly. This is not symbolizing death to me. Actually, you know, yeah, it's more, these two are very similar because the sword underneath this person is like the decision that was made with this, and the rest of the wands are here. It's as, wands and swords are very interchangeable in these readings, so this is more, swords are more for security, wands are more for, like, personal responsibility. And so you got the Five of Wands here, and there's 5 people holding 1 wand each. So again, it complements these other ones. Actually, I'm thinking you delegate what you were trying to take on by yourself to other people. So this is a big trust thing where things that you care about, you leave to others to help you with, and they do follow through. It does look like they're standing in a circle or fighting, but I don't get that energy from this card for this reading. So that's what I got for this. And then we have the present, and that is innocence. I'll read the prayer for you since I didn't read it for Tommy. It says, "My prayer, dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace." And then your card for the future is eternal love. Help me perceive all of the love that surrounds me so that I can feel safe receiving, expressing, and giving love.
Oh, that means that Denise is a very lovely person.
You have people around you, Denise, that you're not aware of will help you, and it will take your trust to make that bridge happen where you're relieved of all of this overburdensome responsibility, and by putting it in the hands of others that you trust, it still gets carried out the way that you see. It's just that getting over that trust barrier is probably going to be the most challenging part of it, because I'm seeing like the beginning and the end of all this, but in the middle is a little gray. Like I can't really elaborate on how you get there. I just see the beginning and the end of this. So, and that is your reading, Denise. Oh, I got to take a break because like I'm all sweaty here.
You're sweaty. Oh,
Yeah.
should we all take that as a good thing? Steve is sweaty. Steve is hot.
Wound up here.
Tommy's got his cool glasses on. So,
Yeah, my
Julie.
psychedelic life gives me a headache.
Denise
I
said,
really like that's just
wow.
my aura.
Denise said, wow, holy crap. Thank you.
That has been the response of every reading I have done.
Nice.
So thank you, Denise, for asking me to read for you.
Okay.
This is like confirmations, you know? Confirmation for me, confirmation for you.
Validation.
Validation, yes, all of that.
Okay. Now, we're going to get to Julie and what she came up with, which I think is extremely interesting. So hold on to your butt there, Steve.
I don't
Julie,
know.
you're on.
Hey, can you share that photo? Are you able
sure-
to share that photo?
Yes, I can. Let me get it.
So
I should have been sitting here setting it up. I don't know what I was thinking because I knew I was going to show it.
First off, Steve, do you have a connection with a very large, like, tarantula? Do you have a connection with a very large tarantula? An entity or something you've seen today? Like a gigantic spider. That first came in. So I had to ask because that's the first thing I saw. But then I had this lady come in, very sweet lady. She seemed like a grandmother type. Doesn't look exactly like it, but she's got white hair and a bun. Very sweet face. Very fun lady. Very petite. She's a very petite lady. Does this ring a bell with you?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm not like let me think about this because my head's still on the read.
Okay.
Sorry.
Clear. This might be a babysitter.
I'm very comfortable with spiders.
Okay.
So there's there's one that's in my house that's a pet. I didn't kill
Really?
it. Yeah. I don't kill spiders.
Okay. I don't know if spiders came through.
I was a pet for a while.
Okay. This is a
I'm
granny
getting
type.
chills looking at this face. So
Pardon?
I'm getting chills looking at the face here. I don't know if it's someone I'm familiar with.
It's a granny type person, and she came through, and she had an apron on, and I think she was wearing a dress, and she did a lot of it seemed like she did a lot of canning.
Oh, well, that might be my great grandmother then.
And so there was a lot of fruits and I get olives and cherries and she canned stuff and she cooked a lot. She was very fun and she liked to watch you and the little ones play, and she was playful.
That would be her because she was around when I was younger.
And
she was like a cooking matriarch here. So
yeah, she wasn't always in the kitchen though. She liked to have fun with the kids. Then there was also a grandfather type that came through, and I think it was maybe her husband that passed before her. And he would come and he would watch her with the kids.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, so
my great grandmother lived with me when I was younger. She actually needed to be on a hospital bed in our house we were living in, so she couldn't take care of herself. And my great grandfather passed before she did, so we were there to take care of her. And I was like between 2 and 4 years old at the time. So she matches the face here and the hair, the body type.
It's not exactly, but she had a very sweet face, very sweet demeanor, very fun. She really loved children. She loved the kitchen. She was just really happy. So she's just coming in to say hi and just to remind you of the happy times, So
my mother took care of my great grandmother in her final days.
Aw, how sweet.
And my mom made me aware that she was living with us, that what she was he's taking care of her. So I mean, I still have those memories. I do have early childhood memories like that.
Very sweet. Thank you for allowing me to do this for you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for doing it. And I mean, I wasn't expecting that, so it's kind of cool.
I thought it was kind of neat when she showed it to me. She sent
Very
it to
cool.
me, and I was like, "Whoa, there you go. That'll give you some chills." That was very good, Julie. Thank you.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
awesome.
you're welcome.
That
Okay,
gives
so I'm
me a
ready for my
reminder.
reading.
You're ready for your reading?
I'm just gonna stay on here so I can give them feedback.
we are reading Julie.
Watch out.
I like Julie.
We can do some channeling sometime. I like to channel. I like doing one-on-one channeling because people get more out of it. Obviously.
Right.
Woo. It's called Rock and Roll Cowboy, buddy.
That's
Yeah.
the album.
Yes, I listen to it. I love it. I listen to it when I'm cleaning house. I will put my earbuds in and turn it on, and I will listen to it while I'm cleaning house. The whole thing. I love it. I don't turn on YouTube anymore to listen to it while I'm doing dishes and dusting and everything else. I put that on. I put on Tommy. I'm like, sing in my ears, Tommy. Works out great. So yeah, Woo, you got to find it.
Yeah, I need to release some of the other stuff.
I'd like to share this with Julie.
Okay, sure.
Please.
So my mom is currently working with canning food and doing everything organically.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure that's stirring up energies from our ancestors saying, like, hey, you're doing what we were doing.
Right.
It's a lot more hands-on. Like we have to buy our stuff from a farm now. Like we're not trusting these grocery stores anymore. Everything homemade up to bread and unpasteurized milk.
You know, it's kind of interesting because I did get the impression that what was canned then was gotten from like local farms at that time. So yeah, that's interesting.
They grew it at home.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so if it's who I think it is, it's my mom and my mother's side of the family.
Yeah.
And they're actually from Italy and Sicily.
Uh-huh.
And
That's why the olives came through. That's why.
when you said the apron, I'm like, damn it. That must be it then. All right.
Cool.
Because really,
Tommy
I can't see her face in my mind right now because I was so young when she passed. But the glasses, she wore glasses. She wore her hair in one. I had to really think about that one because
right.
I don't think about her often, and maybe that's a sign. I need to start thinking more about my family that's moved on.
Well, just call them for help because they're there. They're there for you.
They're probably standing on the sideline being like, "What? Why aren't you calling for help yet?"
Well, you know, it's interesting. I have an ex-late father-in-law that he's the one that communicates with me the most when I get readings. And so it's, you know, he's the one because I trust him. So yeah, just really sweet. He came through today, so.
I've been shuffling your cards here. I'm going to change the camera again.
Okay.
When I shuffle the cards, I also like to think about the person I'm reading about, so like their name, and then that's how I put the intention into the deal. All right.
You know, I had an aunt that recently passed away a few months ago. She was my godmother, actually. And I've been trying. You know, I could sit here and have God and everybody come floating in my house. But when I specifically have, especially if it's a family member that I want to contact, I have just, it's come hell or high water. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I have really, she was angry with me when she passed away. And I just want to make peace with her, you know? It has been a pain. I'm going to get it, though. I'm going to shuffle through everybody that I possibly can till I get it. Because, yeah.
Was she kind of allowed, like, was she kind of Roz?
She what?
Was she kind of like a loud lady, like boisterous, not loud, like not obnoxious, but like
Yes.
she would talk like I don't even know how to explain it.
I could never take her anywhere.
Well, she's not coming through as nasty. Maybe she's trying to feel people that. But it was like she would just say stuff. Like, and she'd be loud and she'd laugh and have fun.
Yes. That would be her.
Okay.
She loved Hawaii.
Does she like to party too?
I think when she was younger, she did. Being older, not as much.
Like drink and smoke?
She smoked, but she didn't drink.
Like wine? She didn't have wine?
Not in front of me.
Huh.
One more card here.
She's she had pain. She was just in pain, Brenda. A lot of pain.
There. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mentally.
Brenda.
Mentally, a lot mentally.
And I feel it in her heart. She felt
Yes.
very hurt. Very hurt.
Yeah.
Very hurt.
Yes.
And her anger came from that hurt.
Yeah, and you want to hear something funny, Julie? You know what set it off? My grandmother was my favorite. And my grandmother had told her a long time ago, because my grandmother did not like my grandfather. But because of the day and age, they stayed married for the kids. Mm-hmm. She told my aunt, who was the oldest, that she hated her because she's the reason why she had to stay with my grandfather. And my aunt carried that around for a long time. And before she passed away, I was doing a show and I had said something about my grandmother. I loved my grandmother to death. My grandmother was very gifted. And my grandmother had always said that when she was younger, if she talked about any of the gifts she had, they'd have hung her, burned her at the stake. They'd have called her a witch. Well, she got upset with me. And she said to me, my mother was not a witch. And I tried to tell her that's not what I meant when I said it. And she was angry at me. And we never really cleaned that up before she passed away.
I think all is forgiven. All is forgiven.
I should have hoped so. Like I said, she was my godmother.
Well,
she was my go-to woman. All right. Steve looks like he's ready. Look at him go.
Oh, dear, what's
yeah,
going
I'm
on?
already starting.
Oh, okay.
I get the fart, the stick and fart in the wind.
Oh. the fart stick in the wind, yeah. All right.
The third card, it's the stick and fart card. I'm sorry, I don't read tarot.
Oh, I like that. You gotta have humor with this.
I can hear that.
You know, I've had a stomach bug, so you know.
Oh man.
This is why we love Julie.
You let it go fearlessly, you know you're done.
You have a pretty mixed reading here, but I'm going to work through this and explain it. So you have the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, or your fart cloud here, the Two of Wands, the World card is literally upside down. That's 21. This is 18, the Moon, but it's a solar eclipse. And this is 9 of Swords, This is heavy, but it might be more psychological than physical pain.
Mm-hmm.
And Four of Swords. Oh, these two really complement each other. This is you. This is like the grieving process, and then this is you at peace here with whatever happened there. So you are very confident with what you're doing right now, but it does feel like the world's just in opposite mode right now. Like not everything's going according to plan, but you're still carrying out your plan. Like this Ace of Wands, that's like a super card for wands. Like that's probably one of the best you can pair up with any of these. So that's very positive. So whatever you're doing, it's it's working even though it doesn't look like it's working. This this is telling me something about April this past year. But this here is like don't look back. Don't look back on whatever. You have everything you need here, and you will end up being content eventually. Because this sword is all. I also see it like this. It's also the wand
Right.
for you. So that's what I'm
Yes,
seeing here.
things do seem upside down right now. So, especially with all my past work, everything seemed very upside down, not right, not settled. I'm still trying to carry on. Um, and so, yeah, and things I've been very emotional over it. So that's coming out with the moon, right? And it's been psychological because it's tied to everything that I'm going through.
Yeah,
And
I see this like your accomplishments here. Then these are your accomplishments. Like you know that you've done the work. You put the work in, but you're not seeing the result. And it's
Mhm,
not until you let go of your past work in a way, like don't be too attached to it. I guess
right,
I could say like with like I do video work, so I can't look at all of these different like band shows I did and be like, oh man, I wish I could go and like re-edit all that and send it to them because they're not even thinking about it right now. So like applying this to your situation, like these are almost like your awards, these swords here, like all your accomplishments, all your projects that have been successful. You see that they're successful, but you feel like others aren't seeing that what you're seeing in it. Like the quality is being overlooked, you feel like. But you have one project that you're just like, no, this is it. And the other ones you could care less about, but there's one that you want it to be successful. But the the psychological trauma is preventing you from seeing this play out just yet, I guess. So this is still for the future.
yeah, it's still unsettled. You're right on target with that.
Wow. All right.
I
So
know that sometimes it's kind of hard to do a reading on a psychic, so that's pretty good, Steve.
thank you.
You got three other cards up there, like
Got
the
two.
The
So we
two.
got a present card. So this is a message for the present. A favorable outcome. Look at that. So again, this is like telling you in the present that the future you're gonna like what ends up happening. And the prayer for the card is thank you for the beautiful outcome to the situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. Isn't that right on the money?
Nice.
And
Mhm.
then the future card, make a commitment. And the prayer is Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience.
Right on the money.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate
That
it.
is awesome.
Very cool.
I'm glad we
Who's
did
next?
this.
Yeah,
Fun
thanks
stuff.
for being challenging me to do this. I didn't think I can pump out 3, but I did. Here we go.
Yeah. See, Steve? I told you. You and I are going to accomplish great things. We've been talking about doing all kinds of different things, and I sat with him the other night. We do this in the middle of the night when there is nobody else online with us, and we design things. And we put together the design for his tarot card readings, and we put together the design for what was it else? The food, your food, the healthy
bits. Here, I'll do a
bits.
screen share. Let me pull all
Yeah,
these images
you guys
up.
got to see these, man. We were up in the middle of the night just going, hey, let's just, well, that looks good.
We were working on a basically a channel thumbnail design. Each night we did a different design for a different channel. We ended up with 2 different ones, and then we have this third one I think I did on my own.
I'm going to leave now.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for coming on, Julie.
It's fun having you on, Julie.
Maybe another time soon. Bye.
I know. You can come back anytime you want to. You know that, right? And that was Julie, everybody. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I have that. Okay.
There we go.
Look at that.
Nice. Very nice.
Like that. That's for his tarot card reading.
Pure arts.
Yes.
Nice.
So we made that one the first night. Second night we made this for my health and fitness channel. So
yes.
Nice. Frank Capella's got a cooking show. It's called Walk This Way.
WOK. And then this is for my paranormal channel, which I don't have any contents up on yet, but I have a bunch of footage from Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Illinois that I've made multiple visits to. There's a lot of stuff going on there, but I didn't post anything about it because I didn't, I guess, capture what I wanted at the time. But my mind is in a different place now than it was then. It was like I was chasing the ghosts back then, but now it's more like studying the land and who lived there and what is happening underneath the land, because there's methane pockets, and I wonder if that plays into the time slips that are there. So this is going to be a more paranormal channel, and it's scribbled over my Yissel Missile Productions logo.
Jason said that he lives by there, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you get down here, man, there's an old mental hospital, sanitarium, right across the river, and this is all through here. It's like a dimensional estuary, the real thin veil, this. I don't know if I've ever told you about the vortex that opened up, and it's like Indian drums that drew us into this tunnel, and then when we stepped out the other side, thinking there was a powwow going on at the park on the other side, nope, it was just something from the past. And then as we came back through, on the way over, I'd stopped and sang a song, in the middle of the tunnel, just because the echo and reverb and everything, from the natural architecture and then the water passing through underneath it. We came back, there was a whirlpool had opened up, just the whole the width of the tunnel just dropping out into nothing. Vortex, and then we stared at that for a while, and came out the other side. And there was something making noise over here that wasn't there, and then as we were leaving, there was this car that that looked like a car, but it suddenly appeared inside a locked gate. And it was like Memorial Day. There wasn't anybody from the Parks and Rec to come unlock that, just to park an out-of-state car in there, you know. And then this thing rippled like water, and it turned into like liquid mirror, kind of like Terminator 2, or like, you know, like it's like liquid mirror. You know, it's weird. And the wheel sucked up into the thing, and it all just kind of turned into this kind of amorphous mass that just kind of hovered there for a while. And weird shit. Me and two of my buddies from college witnessed all this stuff.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do. Now, for all of you that don't know, I'm going to be moving out to Susie's. Steve's going to come out there. What I would like to do, because there's a few places out here in Texas I would like to take Steve to, but I thought about if he can do recordings and different stuff like that, because it's too hard for me to get out and go around. That would be something awesome, Steve, we could do on your paranormal channel. We could send you out in the field, probably send Susie with you so she could pray, because I don't want you picking anything up on your own back, because some of that stuff can be pretty bad. Yeah, because it took me a month and a half to heal the bite that I had gotten, and it was in between my shoulder blades on my back when I got bit. And those things can be really nasty if anything happens. But I think it would be really cool to send you guys out ghost hunting. You know, kind of like just do a little private thing. Like there's a few cemeteries that are open that you can get into at night, and different places like that. So I think that would be pretty damn cool, and we could stream that stuff live on channels.
Well, the sanitarium is one of the most haunted places in North America.
Wow. Yeah,
and there's also another former like psychiatric hospital in West Virginia that's abandoned that we could get in, and there's also the abandoned like carnival, or it's like a amusement park in West Virginia, which is
yeah, West Virginia is a place too. The only problem with that is you get a lot of these people that do this stuff. Like there is one show that I like to watch that's paranormal, and they don't make money doing what they do, especially when they go and they clear houses, because they both work full-time jobs, and that's what they do. So you got to have the money to be able to travel around.
It wasn't cheap going and visiting Brenda or Susie when I went earlier this year.
Yeah, I've got a green van. We get it, and you'll knock it out, man.
Right? Yeah. Paranormal Quest. Is it paranormal?
The real life mystery machine, right?
Right. Jason,
I could paint my Sprinter van up like that. You know, kind of a modern turn on it.
That would be kind of neat. Wouldn't you like to? You could hang out and go ghost hunting with Tommy. That'd be kind of cool.
But I've got it built into an RV.
Yeah, Jason, I think it's the two guys that work for Rotor Rooter, I believe it is. And they're pretty good. Now, Baggins, I'm not okay with him. I have watched him, and I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really should have went into that place he has out there in Nevada where he supposedly has all this haunted stuff, because all I have to do is walk in there and I'll feel it and I'll know it. So I've never done that, but yeah. Yes, he is a scammer. But Jason, if you don't live that far from there, do you have stories about that place that you could share with Steve? You know, maybe we could get you on one of his shows where you could come and talk about, you know, stuff like that with paranormal in that place. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, because you don't have content for that yet, Steve. So we might as well build that content, you know? Hey, that's why we're all friends. See, this is what this community is about. It is about sharing experiences, building each other up, and working together. And some people, I think, forget that in a lot of these, even the SSP program. You know, I love Rob to
You
death.
get a lot of traumatized people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I got something else here.
What do you got?
You guys
What
know
you
about Coral Castle?
Coral Castle.
Some of your viewers might know. I was actually
Really?
going to ask Joshua about it before he signed off, but
Oh.
it's probably too unrelated.
Coral
Coral
Castle.
Castle in Florida. It's
Coral Castle.
Coral Castle. This was built by
crazy.
one man. He is this tall.
Holy crap.
So like that's me standing next to a life-size cutout of this guy. Came up to my shoulders. But he built this whole place. Look at this. He put rocking chairs in here. Now the big question is, how do you accomplish all this with the coral rock weighing as much as it does? The location is like right across from the Everglades.
Yeah.
About like an hour from Miami going south.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. I know where it is.
Bigfoot.
What he did was
driven by it.
He quarried out the land that he purchased.
I want to stop there at some point.
What's that? What'd you say, Tommy?
I said I always wanted to stop there. I've driven by it a few times over the years.
It's definitely worth stopping if you have the time to.
Yeah.
There's an admission for a tour, but I mean you get everything in that. Yes. So this guy who built Coral Castle, I'm not remembering his name right now because it's just my mind's all over here. But he apparently
yeah, man.
Michael Tellinger did a study on this guy. He's another researcher in South Africa, where he was studying stone circles that were everywhere on the land, and he figured out there was a larger purpose to it because it was pretty expansive, all the circles. But he talked about Coral Castle, that this guy was using what looked like two cones to hold them like this and gripped in his fists. And he'd move the rocks like that. So I don't know if he put the rock in between the two cones that he had, but he was able to lift these things like nothing, apparently. But it fascinates me. He lined up some of these so that he'd have starlight and moonlight going directly through these holes at certain times of the year.
Yeah, Julie asked if that was a healing place.
I think so. Because it didn't cross my mind when I was there, but I mean, these tools, I don't think these are everything he used. The thing he actually used to like make the stuff nearly weightless, like we don't see that technology here. This is all like a bunch of wooden levers and pulleys made of like iron or steel, or probably iron.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got the one doorway that rotates freely.
Yes.
Made out of huge slab stone.
Yes. Give me a second here. I think I have that one too.
Yes, Julie said it's just like the theories of the pyramids.
Yeah. There's some huge slabs of stone that are big flat slabs of stone that are cut that are pushed over the hillside back here. And there were a bunch of Indian mounds like along the river, which is like just down the hill from here, where that they excavated some of them when they built the park. The other ones like that were on farms and stuff just kind of got knocked over with tractors and stuff. And I guess people collected up some of the artifacts and stuff. But
he lived on the second floor up here, and
Wow.
people would ring a bell for him to come down and like give a little tour of the place.
Wow.
I'm looking for the door because I know exactly what you're talking about, Tommy.
Yeah, man, that is trippy. It's like the Flintstones.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks primitive, but this takes some like serious, like
Yeah,
thinking to accomplish.
no doubt. And even just to cut the big stones.
Yeah, and like, how did he cut them? Like, that's unknown too.
Yeah.
Wow. In case you guys didn't know, sometimes when we're backstage, Steve takes me on vacation all over the world, and we look at different architects.
Yeah, today's Florida.
Yeah, today's Florida.
So this was like a wishing well, I believe. But you see, he has like crescent moons here, carved out of the coral, and so there's a coral rock, like bedrock underneath this land, because the Everglades and everything that was all underwater at one point, like completely underwater. It was all sand bed and coral.
Yeah.
So whenever, however many mud floods we had, one of them turned this into habitable land, and then he just dug underneath and took all the rock out.
My buddy Jimmy,
Jimmy
had a
very,
place.
very interesting. I don't mean to, I'm trying to not talk over everyone.
I'm sorry.
This is a calendar. He has the numbers of every hour here, and apparently it was accurate to the hour for every hour of every day.
To me, it looks like a little
sundial
waiting pool.
It's a sundial with like crisscross, like teardrop type shapes. But I don't know.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
There was one of the sun here.
Oh.
Oh, so this is looking from the perspective of that calendar. Look at this. I documented this the right way. And then there you go. He used the tip of the rock to then match up and line up with these lines.
Oh, wow.
There's a dinner table.
Huh.
Another view of the dinner table. There's my dad right there. Yeah, another table. But he made this like a house, like without a roof, if that makes any sense. This might be the door here.
That would be nice unless when it rains or they have a hurricane, or I wouldn't want to be living outside then. But that is really cool. Wow.
I don't think that's the door. The door is like off to the right side of this picture. I'm surprised I don't have like a ready photograph.
That's a pretty view.
So that's outside, walking from the parking lot in.
Wow. Nice.
Beautiful.
Next picture is the quarry that he extracted the rock from. So basically this whole like inset, this was all rock, and he just dug down that far and scraped it all out.
Julie said this should be a show you do live. Share your travels with us.
Yeah, we were actually thinking about doing that because I have stuff from Nashville, from the Parthenon. And then we went all over Google Maps with that thing to do comparisons with the real thing.
Cool, man.
Yeah, we did that. I remember doing that. That was kind of fun.
I was supposed to go there the 2nd of July and instead lost 8 hours.
Yeah.
We're in the park.
That'd have been a cool trip for you. But you can go next year.
I mean, I've been to the Parthenon before, but it was just that day. Didn't quite make it.
Jason said, and Walmart adventures. They liked that, Steve.
I
Shopping
haven't
with
had too
Steve.
many of those because my car's on the fritz, so it needed it had a cracked radiator, so it was overheating.
Oh
It
no.
actually stopped me mid going to Walmart last week, so that's being worked on right now.
Cool.
There's the door off to the
Nice.
side here. I'm surprised I didn't get an actual front and center view of it. The
Super
door
cool.
rotates on a hinge.
Mhm.
He was able to just like tap it and it opened like a wooden door. And since then they've like gated it off so like you can't really access it.
Yeah, it's wearing out.
Yeah, and the tour guide also told us these rocks are eventually going to deteriorate over time. So we have maybe 150 to 200 years left before this thing's unrecognizable. And he built this about 100 years ago.
Wow.
We should try to do something to save it and preserve it.
You can't.
Yeah, like put a coating over it or something.
It's yeah, but that's kind of,
Defeats
This is
the
a
originality
natural-
of
just
it.
damaging the
Is that a
stone
toilet?
itself. Or
It's a well.
Yeah,
Although
putting-
maybe, I could be wrong.
nice.
Maybe it is the toilet. Who knows?
Same thing.
You never know. I mean,
It's the urinal.
I had a buddy
It
that
does-
had a swimming pool made out of coral like that, and it part inside, part out. You could like swim in the inside part of the pool to outside, like you go under like a little tunnel part. But he lived down there at Jacksonville.
This was actually really interesting, but we weren't allowed to go down.
Yeah.
Like he made a subfloor. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a cave down there that there's just no public access to.
oh yeah,
But like
huh?
you said, like how would you fare a hurricane with a place with no roof? Like he could stay in his little castle up there, but maybe
He
it-
drowned if it was in the basement there.
Well, that all depends on what you got shutting you in. So maybe the basement's for tornadoes and the house up in the top in the second floor is for hurricanes.
Yeah, it's typically like
goes all the way down. This is the same.
water. Yeah. The water table's so high there. So close to the surface.
Right?
Mhm.
Well,
This stuff, I couldn't even tell you how or what these things were used for. These are beds actually right here.
beds?
He made beds, like with a fake pillow and everything.
He's an artist. He's a sculptor. That's crazy.
Yeah. And look at this. He put this up himself. He apparently was doing this overnight so no one would see it. And
Yeah.
then there's local lore of like kids seeing him use those cones to levitate things one day. And they described them as ice cream cones. So like,
Jason said he went full Flintstone.
yeah. It's like, I ain't going back to society.
Right. That's what I would say. Well, I don't know. I might have a hard time sleeping on that bed, though. Might
Yeah, no
hurt
doubt.
a little.
I don't think I showed in this one.
That's not memory foam.
Yeah, right? I'd have to bring my own memory foam.
Here, okay, this
Not-
is the well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks more like a well.
Yeah.
I think the other one was a urinal.
Probably because you
Six.
built this like a house, so you'd have to have a toilet somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that is amazing. This has been kind of fun, you guys. Yeah.
Really cool.
You know, I knew that
Yep.
Joshua couldn't stay for very long, so I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
we didn't, skip out early. But we've ran an hour over, so yay!
See what's
That's
late
right.
in here? It's actually
I'm gonna cut out, guys. I'm whipped.
Okay, Tommy.
Sounds good, Tommy.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love
Appreciate
you too.
everything.
See you later.
This has been
Get
cool.
some rest.
Thank you for the rating.
Oh, you're most welcome, Tommy.
Yeah, man, and this is cool. Like I've always wanted to go to this place. Yeah, there's a place in West Virginia you should go check out if you ever come down this direction. Again, it's called the Mystery Hole, and it's it's weird, like tourist kind of deal. But there's a place where you sit down and you try to stand up and you can't. Like you have to you pull yourself out of it.
Oh yeah.
Pretty wild. Like the whole room is tilted.
Yep. I've seen those.
Crazy. I guess.
You have a good night, Tommy. Thanks for being here with us this whole time. I got it wrong. I was going to say this is a cooker. It's not a well. So
it's a hooker.
It's a cooker.
A cooker. I thought you said a hooker. I was going to say, God, he even made his own women out of stone? What? All right.
I think that's the only thing he didn't build is like other people to be with him. Yeah, I do think he had it. So he wanted to. The story with this guy, he had heartbreak over a girl that he wanted to marry, and she denied him. So that's why he went and purchased this land and built his quote dream house, as if this would have been the house he would have given that girl. So it's a little tragic in a way.
Oh, it is sad. But what if she didn't want to live on stone?
Well, she didn't want to live with him, period. So it wouldn't have mattered.
What a heartless bitch. Oh.
There's that doorway
again. Julie says glory hole. Don't apologize, Julie. Look at me. I just called some woman I didn't know a heartless bitch. I'm going to pay for that. Sorry.
Yeah, this was his monument of love to her.
That is so sweet, though. I mean, really, when you think about it, he built that with his sweat and tears for this woman that denied him. Like I said, heartless bitch. She was cold as stone. Julie. We love you.
If I had the money, I would buy this building in the background and demolish it.
The one in the background?
Yeah. It's such a out of place thing.
I wish I would.
Lottery and that building disappears, you'll know who did it.
I wish I could find somebody that loved me enough to build me a house of stone. Then you get laid every dang day just because of hard work. Goodness me. He did a good job. I mean, that I will say. Such detail. Can you imagine when it was first done originally?
It might have been smooth.
Yeah.
Like not all rough surface like we see now. But you can see here. So like he just cut these sections out and then stood them up right here. So this is a little, like, you can see it's a little more logical. But the bigger pieces, how did he do that? Is my question.
I'm telling you, man, Bigfoot helped him. He was a little guy. They didn't fear him. He was so small. I mean, I can't see him lifting that. Well, I mean, I guess it's like the mystery of the pyramids. Maybe he was in tune with extraterrestrial. Maybe
Yeah.
he had help beyond people because he did a lot of it at night, so nobody could see what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Like,
you
look
never
at
know.
like, you can tell it's coral. Like,
Yeah.
look at all of the ridges on this thing. But he was able to sculpt it to how he wanted. Like, that's excruciating amount of time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I wonder, did you ever find out how long it took for him to build it?
Oh yeah, I think it was like, I want to say like at least 20 years. Like, he did it slowly over a period of time, but like, I think it would be like between an overnight, he'd have a new thing up out of nowhere. It's like, how'd you get that up so fast?
Wow.
And so he just kept adding to it little by little over time. And he charged, I think, like a nickel for people to come in and like sit in the chairs and stuff. So he turned it into his own business.
And
But
he
like,
only
this
charged a
accuracy
nickel.
of the sun.
Hey, nickels add up too, you know?
Well, back in the 1920s, yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
And then this looks like he's just showing off. You know, like,
He was just showing off. This one, he was just showing off. That was
there's
his
probably
steeple.
meaning to it, but
Maybe he meant to build a steeple for like a wedding chapel. He was going to build her a wedding chapel. I can only imagine. I've never had anybody build me a paper airplane, much less a house made of stone.
and if what I remember is correct, these chairs are placed for different times of the day for where the sun's located. So if it wasn't in a perfect position anymore, he'd move to the next chair. So like if he was sitting outside reading, and then the sun went too far one way or the other, he just moved.
That is pretty awesome. Goodness me, oh my.
These are the practical tools that they say that's what he used. But we're talking tons of weight.
Yeah.
After a while, the wood tools wouldn't hold up anymore, and all the metal tools would bend. So
This
explain
is
that
true.
one.
Jason says that, well, that would be better than moving heavy chairs. So, yeah, you just sit from one to another. Make yourself your own time dial. Wow.
And he built like the crescent moons here. You see Saturn up here.
Yeah.
This little guy did all that. I'm 5'9".
He's the same height I am, so I can't say much. Here you are, 5 foot nothing, girl. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, the admission was 10 cents, not 5 cents.
Oh.
See, my details are a little off because it's been a while. It's been.
What do they charge now?
I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks for the tour.
Holy crap. Was that a tombstone?
No.
Oh.
That was a sale sign.
Oh.
Hold on. I keep opening the wrong photo display here.
I wonder what happened when he passed away.
I have a book on that I bought from here. So I'm just going to have to read it and then report back my findings. I really like this sign here.
Julie said that was a fun trip. Thanks for sharing, Steve.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right, guys. I think that we have kept you all long enough, maybe, possibly. I haven't heard anything out of Denise. Denise, did you fall asleep on us? Denise.
Card Q17 also, I know you wanted a reading. Like, that's the most amount of readings I've done sequentially.
Yeah, he's just starting to do this, guys, so we got to get him built up, you know.
But you guys all encouraged me tonight. Like, I was spot on with the readings. So
Right?
clearly, I know what I'm doing here.
Yes, you did good. You're welcome, Julie. Thank you for coming on. Good night, Jason. So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys, and be watching for the next weekend's schedule. I got to work hard on doing that. That's always fun for me. I usually wait and do it on Monday. I take Sunday to rest, but I've been trying to add more shows, but some things have just, during the week it's hard. People are working, and so it doesn't always work out that way, but I'm trying. Yeah. So anyways, everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining in. It was really fun. I'm glad you guys liked Joshua, and we'll have to have him back. And we will go ahead and go. So you all have a very good night and a good week, and we will see you next weekend. And like always, please be kind to one another. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye for now, from Beyond the Box.
Please join us again for Beyond the Box, Friday and Saturday evenings, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Join us for more intel bombs from our extraordinary guests.
Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker.